to recapture the title he won back in 2007. Honda's Kevin Windham brings a veteran sensibility to the track. A four-time winner last season, K-Dub hungers for his first title. Young Ryan Villopoto stands in his way. The Supercross rookie replaces Stewart on the Kawasaki. Is he ready to be a prime-time rider? Tonight, we find out. And defending champion Chad Reed has left his Yamaha ride behind. He will carry the #1 on his Suzuki in 2008. 2 championships and 35 career wins to his title defense. The gate drop from Anaheim 1 is next on Speed. James Stewart has a new team and a new bike, and he wants the championship back. Kevin Windham got 4 wins last year, came short of the title. He wants to change that story this season. Chad Reed is now a 2-time champion. He too has a new team and a new bike. He wants to defend the crown. And Ryan Villopoto comes into Supercross for the first time on the big bike. Can he win here as well? The holidays are over, and it's time to fire up the engines once again. Speed is ready to raise the curtain on the 2009 racing season with live coverage of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross, an FIM World Championship. It's round 1 from Anaheim, live on Speed, and we begin it all with the Progressive Pre-Race Show. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Happy New Year to you. Hope the holidays were great, but we're ready to get back to racing, as I'm sure you are as well. We've got a great night of coverage for you live from here in the birthplace of Supercross, Southern California. Here's what we have in store for you on our rundown. Live coverage of the opening ceremonies, and if you've ever been to a Supercross, trust me, you know this is one of the highlights of the night. James Stewart, Chad Reed will speak to the 2 champions tonight, and our own Dave Despain has a great look back at some of Supercross's top rivalries. And every race tonight, without commercial interruption, you'll see every bit of on-track competition from the first gate drop to the last checkered flag of the night. Should make for a great way to kick off the 2009 racing season. And as we go through the 2009 Supercross year, my colleagues are joining me once again. Former Supercross champion Jeff Emig will be here with me in the booth, and Aaron Bates will cover all the action for us down on the floor. So let's kick things off by touching base with Jeff Emig.
Well, thanks, Ralph. As you can see, I am down here on the floor of Angel Stadium. This is the tunnel. This is the entrance from the pits where the riders, mechanic, and the bike come down. This is the first chance that the riders get to see the crowd. They get to feel the energy. The riders that are prepared for tonight are feeling confident. The riders that didn't have a good off season, this is when the nervousness starts to creep out. So, who will it be? It's Judgment Day for the riders once they hit this point. I am so excited for tonight. We're going to have a great race. But let's go up to Aaron to see what the fans are feeling.
The excitement, anticipation, it's been building all day long, you guys, here in the Angel Stadium. And these fans behind me, they are overly anxious for the 2009 Supercross season to kick off. Lots of adrenaline, tons of anticipation. And I'll tell you what, the electricity is so thick here at the Angel Stadium, it sends shivers down your spine. These fans here, they've been sitting here, they're so loyal. They've endured the rain throughout practice today. But I tell you, these fans have got to be the most loyal fans in the whole world, and they're in store and ready for probably the best Supercross in all of history. Get ready for Supercross. Ralph?
Let's go, well, Aaron, one of the reasons why everybody is so pumped up for Supercross to get underway is those 4 riders we talked about at the beginning of the show. Kevin Windham, James Stewart, Chad Reed, and of course Ryan Villopoto. Now at the press conference earlier in the week, those 4 riders talked about what they think lies ahead in this championship fight.
And when you got the 4 top, best Supercross riders in the world, I mean, I think, everybody says it's a perfect storm. And I think, yeah, if you're on the outside looking in, it is war, it is battle. But in my camp, I don't see it as that way. I see it as we have to focus on what we need to do.
It's all about going and going to battle, for you. You're the guy that, you're sitting there training your butt off. You're the guy that lays it on the line, and, it's for me. I'm doing this because I love it.
It's going to be tough. You got to go in there knowing that, and I've seen some guys do some things that really proved how bad they wanted it, and it's stuff that would shock you, but it's going to happen, and you just got to be ready for it and to be able to overcome it and still get through your 20 laps.
You know, I just need to do my own 20 laps, especially for the first round. It's so much hype and this and that. And once we get into a few rounds, you know, everything's calmed down and then it's really just racing.
The fans here at Angel Stadium are pumped up and ready to go racing. They've waited through the long winter. They've sat through rain here today, and now it's just about time to kick off the opening ceremonies. The 2009 Supercross season is about to get underway, and you're going to see every bit of it live right here on Speed. Supercross is ready to drop the gate.
You can train long hours, put everything you've got into the ride all year long. But in the end, sometimes it comes down to luck. What you do in one single race, and only one mistake could be the difference between sweet victory and crushing defeat. Monster Energy AMA Supercross, the finals, return to Las Vegas. One final race will decide who will be crowned king. Kid seats are half price, so get your tickets now. Monster Energy AMA Supercross, the finals, May 2nd, Sam Boyd Stadium. Be there when history is made.
Speed's coverage of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross pre-race show from Anaheim is brought to you by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. Welcome back to Anaheim as we get set to kick off the pre-race show here, and opening ceremony is about to get underway. Time now for the Go Green trivia question, presented by Kawasaki, a chance for you to win a 32GB Apple iPod Touch. Here's today's question. Who holds the record for most wins by a rookie in a single Supercross season? To enter, either text your answer number 1, 2, 3, or 4 to Speed 3 773333. Standard texting rates apply, or you can log on to speedtv.com, keyword Kawasaki. Number 1, Ricky Carmichael. Number 2, Chad Reed. Number 3, James Stewart. Number 4, Jeremy McGrath. The winner will receive a 32GB Apple iPod Touch. Stay tuned to the end of tonight's show, and we'll give you the correct answer to tonight's Go Green trivia question. Good luck. Well, we've talked about a lot of the changes coming into the 2009 season. A lot of riders that you're used to seeing, but on some new machinery. Let's take you through a quick scorecard of who's who so you can keep an eye on it at home. The Honda Red Bull Racing Team lineup will include Ivan Tedesco, Davi Millsaps, and Andrew Short. The Geico Power Sports Honda will be headed up by Kevin Windham as his hopes of chasing the championship this year. Factory Yamaha will be made up of Broc Hepler and Josh Hill. San Manuel Band of Mission Indians Yamaha is an interesting one. That's where James Stewart replaces Chad Reed, who won the championship on this team last year, and Kyle Chisholm will join James there. Toyota Yamaha, this is a Joe Gibbs racing team. They've got 2 new riders, Cody Cooper and Josh Grant. And Rockstar Makita Suzuki, this had a big shakeup. Michael Byrne and Michael Alessi were both here last year. Chad Reed brings the number 1 plate as he leaves the Yamaha camp for Suzuki. And Monster Energy Kawasaki, this is where James Stewart was last year. He's now replaced by Ryan Villopoto, and veteran Tim Ferry remains in green. Well, you can hear the crowd getting louder and louder. They know it's coming. Opening ceremony's just moments away. But before we dim the lights and start blowing off the pyro, earlier today, our Jeff Emig sat down and chatted with James Stewart.
Well, thanks, Ralph. I am here with James Stewart, the 2007 Supercross champion. But if you notice from the background, the color's not the same. James Stewart has made a change from Kawasaki to Yamaha. What has the offseason been like in this change?
The offseason's been, big changes. Everything's going good so far. We had a couple good races in U.S. Open and Bercy, and just trying to continue the success over this weekend. Hopefully the weather will hold off, but we'll find out.
Yeah, you're going to go for the win no matter what the weather is. But what was the transition from being on a Kawasaki for so long and now with a new team and a new bike? What was that offseason like?
It's different. Usually with Cal, you don't do a lot of testing and stuff. You kind of know what the bike's going to do. And here, you know, we did a lot of testing this year, and I think it's been good. And, you know, we did so much. You know, we almost have to figure out where we're at, you know, today. So hopefully with Team Samuel, we can get it up on the podium and see what happens.
You got something to prove being out of the series last year? You want that title back?
Yeah, you know, I want to win. I definitely want to win, but, you know, it's a marathon, so, you know, it's a long season, and, you know, we just got to make sure we get through this race and next few. But, yeah, I would like it back if I can have it.
There's a great look at the starting gate here on the floor of Angel Stadium, where in just a few minutes the riders will be lining up as we kick off the night with the first heats. Here come the Monster girls out onto the floor, part of the opening ceremonies, and pretty soon Chad Reed and the rest will be introduced to the crowd, and you'll see it all live here on Speed as our progressive pre-race show continues from A1. Aaron will chat with the champ when we come back. Oh, there's nothing wrong with your TV set. They've just turned the lights out here at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. And here comes our nation's flag being brought out to the center of the arena floor as the pre-race ceremonies continue here in Anaheim. Earlier today, our Aaron Bates spoke with the now two-time champion, Chad Reed.
The defending Supercross champion Chad Reed is back for battle for the 2009 season, sporting a #1 plate, a brand new bike, a brand new team, and newfound motivation. Chad, you've been in this position before 4 years ago when you won your championship last time. You're the man with the target on your back. How badly do you want to validate this title against James Stewart?
That was a long time ago, and you know, I gave it everything I had last year, and you know, you got to be in it to win it, and that's how it was last year, you know. And this year's new, and there's a lot of new things for everyone, and I'm excited about it. You know, today I feel good on the track, and you know, let's go out there and, you know, let the gate drop, have some fun.
What's your thoughts? What's going to happen when that gate drops tonight?
Hopefully you'll see the one out there, get the whole shot, and you know, put some solid laps together, and you know, try and get the first win of the year.
Chad Reed, it's going to be a battle royale, and it's about to happen here tonight.
No question, Chad Reed will once again be one of the top title contenders for the 2009 Supercross Championship. More pre-race when we come back. Welcome back to Anaheim, California. Carrie Kehoe, the niece of Eric Kehoe, the team manager for Red Bull Honda, has just completed singing our national anthem. And the fireworks begin. Oh, the pyro and the laser shows, all a big part of the spectacle that is Supercross. And this is not just a part of what you see at Anaheim, it's what you see at all 17 rounds as this tour travels not only across the country but into Canada as well. And Jeff Emick joins me in the booth. Jeff, I know you enjoy the pre-race ceremonies as much as I do, but of course we all want to see the racing. What are we going to expect here tonight, do you think?
Well, I think we're just going to see some great battles. The Lights division is going to be off the hook. Supercross is stacked. The track, we've had a little bit of rain this afternoon, is really tacky. That's going to make for some aggressive racing. I'm telling you, there's so much excitement in this building tonight, so much expectations. But who's going to win it? Who's going to win A1 here tonight?
The rider intros are coming up next. Hopefully the smoke will clear before we drop the first gate, as it has filled the arena here. The stadium packed with smoke, the crowd cheering, and the pyro igniting the night sky. You can see the lasers searching through the clouds and the haze that has covered the floor here at Anaheim. There's the finish line jump. Riders will be soaring through the air underneath that Monster Energy sign, hoping to be the first to the checkered flag. And here come the first of the rider intros. That's Trey Kennard, reigning Supercross Lites East champ.
He is definitely ready for tonight. Solid rider, hard worker. Expect a lot from him this season on the West.
Interesting to see him move to the West this year to join the stacked field out here. Part of the development process, though, a lot of guys want to run the East, then the West, or vice versa, to try out all the venues.
And they want to go beat the best. To be the best, you have to beat the best.
And of course, you'll see all the Supercross Lites races here on Speed, the exclusive home of the Lites Series.
Listen to the crowd, Ralph. This place is going crazy.
That's Jason Lawrence, the reigning Supercross Lites West champion. You'll start to see the introductions coming. The spotlights will find the riders who are scattered throughout the stadium. Jeff, you've done this. What's it like for the rider?
It's great because the fan interaction, you are literally right there, shaking hands, autographing, just really getting to interact with the fans, especially when you're up in the upper level. These fans are right there, you know, just to shake your hand, touch your jersey, wish you good luck. That is a great feeling to have all of that confidence from the fans where you just know that they're behind you.
The music thumping in the background, and to give you an idea of just how big the pyro is here at Supercross, Jeff and I are in the broadcast booth, which would be the normal site for Angels baseball if there was a telecast here during one of their games, and we can feel the heat from each of those explosions as they go off, and we're up here in the second deck.
Yeah, those and the flames that they shoot up, yeah, it singes the back, the hair on the back of your neck. It is a pretty incredible feeling here, and this, for us being in the broadcast booth week in, week out, the opening ceremonies really lights the fire under us also to bring you guys the best racing action and the best coverage that we can.
Lasers cutting through the haze of smoke on the floor here at Angels Stadium. And there you see some of the riders making their way through. That looks like Davi Millsaps making his way into position for opening ceremonies.
Davi's got to be pumped. Notched his first win. He's healthy. Honda's got a new bike. They expect a lot of things. They expect a lot out of Team Honda this year.
Somehow, Jeff, I need to figure out a way to get one of those giant flamethrowers on top of the fireplace out in the backyard.
That would be great, huh?
That would be outstanding.
If you can get one, try to give me one too.
We got to do that. What a way to annoy the neighbors. All part of the spectacle that is Supercross at every one of the 17 rounds that we'll contest in 18 weeks from now to the first weekend in May begins just like this. In sports, it's the men who have become world-class athletes who fight for championships, but these title dreams begin as a child.
Get over there and hey, who's that kid?
Yeah, that's that new kid, Ryan. I hear he's pretty fast.
You think you can hang with us?
I hear you're the new kid on the block.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Chad says you're pretty fast.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see about that.
You all ready?
Well, Disneyland might be right down the street, but this is where Supercross dreams come true. Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. And these young men have become world-class athletes, and they're about to chase their Supercross dreams here tonight in Southern California. Jeff, you've been through that. You've chased your dreams.
Yes, I've lived my dreams to become Supercross champion. This is where it all begins for a Supercross racer. It is a 17-race season, very long, but to get through Anaheim 1, get through this opening ceremonies, start to get rid of all the nervousness. Look how focused these athletes are.
What's going through their minds? Is some of them staring at each other, some of them looking in different places? Where would you be looking?
You're looking them in the eye right now. You're sizing them up. This is an opportunity to actually stare them down, which we don't usually get this type of opening ceremonies, but there's some serious looks on their faces.
Boy, if you're not pumped up now, I don't know how you can't be. Oh, another fantastic opening ceremony here at Supercross, racing right around the corner. Speed's coverage of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross pre-race show from Anaheim has been brought to you by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. Well, the pre-race show is over. That means it's time for round one of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. And round one takes place right here in the birthplace of Supercross, Southern California, Angel Stadium of Anaheim. Hi, once again, everybody. Ralph Shaheen alongside former Supercross champion Jeff Emig. We'll be calling all the action for you from the booth. Pre-race ceremonies continuing as some of the riders are still being introduced. And Aaron Bates will be covering all the action for us down on the floor of the stadium here tonight. There's a look down onto the floor. There's Chad Reed.
He looks ready.
Let's take a look at our Supercross 411. Tonight, you're going to see both classes, Lights and Supercross. In the Lights class, you're going to see 2 heats. Top 9 will straight go to the main. We'll have a last chance qualifier, top 2 to the main. And the main event will be made up of 20 riders for 15 laps. Supercross, 2 heats, top 9 straight to the main. Last chance qualifier, top 2 to the main. Main event, 20 riders, 20 laps. And Jeff, I'll remind you once again, you're going to see every single lap of racing that we just talked about live tonight on Speed. You won't miss a thing.
Including the last chance qualifier, which can...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best race of the night.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see it all live here tonight. Well, let's open up our race coverage now with a Progressive pre-race report. As we head down to the floor, here's Aaron Bates.
Well, if you remember the numerous battles that took place last year between the number 10 of Ryan Dungey and the West Coast Lights champion, Jason Lawrence, well, this is how bad the blood truly is. One Industries is supposed to be Ryan Dungey's #1 star rider, but this is a case. Yesterday, he found out that Jason Lawrence was going to be racing with the same gear. What Ryan Dungey is doing, he's terminating his contract come Monday morning. So the next time that we actually see him, he'll probably be sporting a new Taylor. Unbelievable, guys. We haven't seen a rivalry in bad blood like this since the Jeff Emig and Jeremy McGrath days.
She went there. Can't believe she went there. Yeah, you know, Jeff, you and I were talking about this before. There you see Ryan Dungey. How big is the gear deals like that, and how upsetting would that be to a rider like Ryan Dungey to find out that your nemesis now has your same stuff?
Well, you know, it's an image thing, and Dungey went to One Industries. They launched the brand around him, and now to have, your nemesis get on board and you have to share that time. So not really sure exactly how all this is going to sort out. I'm sure we'll know Monday. But as for right now, these two guys, they don't like each other. Dungey's got something to prove. Lawrence ready to come back for one more championship in the Lights division.
Well, we're going to see Dungey here in race #1, heat #1. This is the part of the opening ceremonies continuing here. You see Kevin Windham, as after the riders get introduced, the top riders all take a ceremonial hot lap. There you see Stewart, there's Villopoto, the sand section here. What do you think of the track as we watch these guys?
Track's very tight in spots and very fast in other spots. You can see the whoops here, they kind of rolled out right now. This is the tighter section. It went through the sand across the start straight. All that's very fast. Now it gets very tricky and technical. You see James Stewart here, number 7, on a Yamaha.
Yeah.
He's been with Kawasaki his whole career, made a switch. Now this section, you can triple out and then actually quad, as James Stewart just did, and he came up a little short, and then a huge triple, I mean steep, coming into this 180. So, once again, this 180 here, block pass. I'm telling you guys, we had rain earlier this afternoon. The track is primo right now. Tons of traction. It's going to make for great racing, very aggressive racing here tonight.
And once again, for those of you that have maybe never been to a Monster Energy Supercross event, this is how every one of the 17 rounds opens up, exactly as you've seen it here tonight live on Speed. Supercross Lites heat number 1. We'll have 20 riders in the gate, 6 laps, top 9 advancing straight to the main. Everybody else gets one more shot at that last chance qualifier.
Well, and there's so much talent here in the Lights division, the West Coast, everybody starting out. You do not want to go to that LCQ because they take 4 out of the LCQ, and it is absolutely stacked once you get to that race.
Our Honda starting lineup scrolling across the top of the screen.
You see Justin Brayton there, 114.
Should be good.
On the KTM, he's been solid over the offseason.
Yeah.
He is going to be the dark horse for this championship and for the main event win here tonight. KTM also has Ryan Sipes. Both riders looking extremely fast here today.
You ready to go?
I am ready, Ralph. I've been waiting 8 months for this moment.
Last time we raced Supercross back in Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, we begin another season. The 32nd board is up. Glad to have you with us as we drop the gate on the 2009 Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship season. Boy, you can just imagine how tense and anxious everybody on the gate has to be. In turn 1, such a key to the success here tonight.
This is where it all starts out here. Dungey's been working hard. He's driven. Is this the season that Dungey gets the championship?
Oh, one rider down hard. Another flying on.
That's Brayton on the inside.
Yeah, Brayton takes the early lead. Here he comes on the 114, and then that slips away. The 116 is Ryan Morris. Morris on the green, 116. Brayton is on the 114. The KTM, the orange bike, and Dungey right there on that Rockstar Makita Suzuki number 10 this year, Jeff.
And just behind Dungey, Jake Weimer. You remember he won that brawl that we had in Phoenix last year. He was on the Geico Honda. This year he switched to Mitch Payton's Kawasaki team. That's him, 19. He is all over Dungey right now.
And that pro circuit team that you're talking about of Mitch Payton's just known.
Oh, he missed the triple. He missed the triple. Who's getting on the inside?
But they're known for just,
Dungey's
down hard. Dungey down, and here comes the pack. Can he get through without getting hit? Jeff, we have said that you can't lose, or you can't win the championship in Anaheim in the first lap, but you can lose it, and that's exactly what you don't want to do, what happened to Ryan Dungey.
Wow, what a mistake Dungey made. You see here, he's had to flip his bike back onto the track, trying to get it started.
And now he could be looking at a situation where he's going to the last chance qualifier.
He was motioning to someone. Here comes the replay. Let's see Dungey here on the yellow bike. He comes out, and this is the second jump. He actually looks like he hit neutral or lost his drive somehow, and the front wheel just absolutely dropped. Right to watch the front wheel drop.
Sure did.
Either he scrubbed that jump too hard, or he missed the shift, accidentally caught the shifter with his left boot.
And he's done. And he is so lucky that Jake Weimer on the 19, who came right behind him, didn't run over him. So now Dungey's got to go to the last chance qualifier, and I'm not sure I can hear it through the headset, but I think I hear Jason Lawrence laughing in the pit area.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but Dungey's woes continue here. This is not how he wanted to start it, but Ryan Morris, new rider on the 116 from the pro circuit, Kawasaki, out front here at Anaheim. Brayton, who we said in the offseason at some of the races overseas, the U.S. Open, he was solid. He was solid on the U.S. Open, you know, on his 250F even. So,
and the U.S. Open contested in Las Vegas in December.
The top 3 riders here are absolutely checked out. We got Gosler sitting back and forth, Jeff Alessi in 5th.
But this right now is all about Morris, Brayton, and Weimer. And Weimer trying to get inside with the block pass. Takes over 2nd place on his Kawasaki, the number 19.
Wow, and how many times have you seen the Mitch Payton's Pro Circuit guys here? Mitch's shop just up the street in Corona, California. This is a local event for them. They're going to have a lot of supporters here. Not too far down the road is where the KTM race shop is, down in Temecula. Brayton and all the KTM guys, they've got a lot of supporters here too.
Well, and Mitch Payton's group is just a championship factory. I mean, they just crank them out year after year, don't they?
Well, and Mitch really did. He, I wouldn't necessarily took a chance, but he made some interesting choices here with Morris and with Weimer. Seen the potential. Remember, 2 years ago, it was Morris that was challenging for the East Coast Championship. Lost out to Ben Townley by just a small margin. And then Weimer won some races last year. I spoke with, here he goes to the
Weimer,
inside.
Trying to make a move on his teammate. Cuts back to the inside.
Morris triples.
That made the difference through that rhythm section, didn't it?
Just a half a bike length. Now these riders, keep in mind, they have been on the Kawasaki test track day in, day out for months riding together. They know that they have to work together as a team here, but you can really feel and see that energy that Weimer has. He wants to win the opening heat race.
Great battle here for the first heat race of the season. Weimer trying to get to the inside. Weimer is on the 19. Here he comes, cuts back in. He's got him. Jake Weimer, your new leader as the battle between the teammates continues.
Oh, and Morris makes a little mistake. That's going to allow Brayton to get up there. But what a ride Jake Weimer is putting in. Look at that manualing the whoop section. He is feeling the flow right now, this brand new ride. Talked to him about a week ago. He says, you know, I signed a 1-year contract. I want it to be do or die this season. I can do it. I want the pressure to be on. And he's got all the pressure he can take right now in the first heat race.
It looked like Morris just about lost the front end through that rhythm section on the 116. Meanwhile, here comes Brayton on the KTM.
1 to go.
Well, the statement is being made, isn't it, by Jake Weimer?
Well, definitely. I think all 3 of these riders are showing, you see how close they're running. All 3 of these riders are showing us that they are prepared for the opening round, and they're prepared to take this thing 8 races.
As you watch our scoring monitor across the top of the screen, those riders' names highlighted in red are not in a transfer position. The ones in green, like Jake Weimer, are. And remember, the top 9 out of these heat races go straight to the main. Everybody else, like Ryan Dungey, has got to try to transfer to the last chance qualifier.
And if you look at the leaderboard, they're just on top as we finish up halfway through this final lap.
Here's the battle for second, Jeff, that we're watching. Borkenhagen holding on to the final spot, straight to the main over Gonzalez right now.
Sean Borkenhagen, he's another local rider, riding for the new Troy Lee Honda team.
And Carlos Gonzalez right behind him, also from Southern California. The checkered flag falls, and the top 3 spots go to Weimer, Morris, and Brayton. And the 2 Pro Circuit guys slap hands, congratulating each other on a fine ride, but Jake Weimer knows that he's set the tone, hasn't he?
He's prepared. He's fired up.
Goggles going into the crowd. Weimer celebrating.
That type of ride comes from having the proper preparation. You've done the right things in the off-season.
Final transfer spot did go to Sean Borkenhagen. Gonzalez and the rest go on to the last chance qualifier for one final shot in tonight's Supercross Lites West Coast main event. Kawasaki, 3 bikes in the top 4. They'll take the top 2 spots up on the podium.
If you notice, no Suzuki in there, or Dungey, the favorite on the Suzuki. outside of the top 10.
And a favorite in the championship hunt. And now maybe we got to think a little bit about Jake Weimer, Aaron.
Well, guys, Jake Weimer taking that first win of the season. Jake, making a very aggressive pass on your teammate. Is it too early in the season to making that kind of pass?
I mean, I was careful. I wasn't going to go in there and hit him. You know, I just tried to scare him a little, and luckily it worked. You know, it's like you said, it's early in the season, and you know, I just want to come out straight off the bat and you know, make a point, you know, that I'm here to win the title this year, and I can't thank my team, Monster Energy, Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Thank everybody. It's awesome.
Congratulations, Jake Weimer, starting off the season right. The Heat 1 win.
Point made.
Definitely.
Point made. Jake Weimer came here looking to make a statement, and he did it, and he won. We'll see what he can do in the main. We've got another heat race coming for you, and we'll see Jason Lawrence for the first time in 09 when Speed returns live to Anaheim.
You're watching the opening round of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross from Anaheim. The brand new season is just starting, so don't miss your chance to be a part of the action. Tickets are on sale now, so go to supercrossonline.com now for all the details and how you can see it all live.
Speed's coverage of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross from Anaheim is fueled by Monster Energy Unleash the Beast, by Progressive, visit progressive.com today, and by RockyMountainMC.com, your one-stop shop for parts, apparel, and accessories. Get ready, and by Toyota, moving forward. Welcome back inside Angel Stadium. Getting ready to drop the gate on heat number 2.
What a way to start it off.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've expected this West Coast Championship for the Lights to be one of the better battles of the year, and boy, that was a great way to kick it off. Here's what you got coming up in heat number 2 in our up close. Another 20 riders, 6 more laps, top 9 once again to the main, everybody else to the LCQ.
And they will join Ryan Dungey in the LCQ.
Yeah. And you got to wonder if somebody else out of here might get bumped into there. I mean, we get to see Jason Lawrence for the first time here.
I'm telling you, there's something in the air tonight. There is some serious excitement. There he is, our first look at last year's champion, Jason Lawrence.
In Ryan Dungey's gear. I mean, it's going to be a big story.
It's Boost, AM, PM, Monster, everything on board here. On the Yamaha, got a whole new look, dressed in black. He's back in black. Well, Jason Lawrence is that type of rider. That's the attitude he has.
If there is a Supercross rider that should be wearing black, it would be Jason Lawrence.
There's
he'd
no
be
doubt
happy
about
with that. He's fine with that.
He's been on fire today. Let's see what he's got. Heat number 2.
He was one of the fastest in practice today. Here we go with the gate drop. Lawrence is on the outside. Here he comes, and they're all chasing the 39 of Trey Kennard, the rider out of Honda, the Geico Power Sports Honda.
Lawrence was 3rd. He got stuffed in the 2nd turn. Both the Honda boys, that's Reardon taking the lead.
Dan Reardon on the other Geico Power Sports Honda moves into the lead in front of Kennard. And that's just the depth of this field too, Jeff, that you got the 2 #1 plate guys, Kennard winning on the East, but he doesn't carry that #1 because this is a West Coast race here. And then Lawrence back there in 4th, the other title winner of the year. And then you see Chris Blose on the 63, just in front of Lawrence.
And Chris Blose is on that new team here, the Troy Lee Honda team that is guided by David Pingree.
And look at Kennard putting on the heat to his teammates. So teammates battling has been a big part of the opening heat races as Kennard gets the lead once again from Reardon, and Reardon almost took himself out on a tough block.
Yeah, Kennard really has something about those right-hand 90-degree turns before the finish. That seems to be his specialty.
Lawrence to 3rd as he gets around Blose on the #1.
Wow, did you see that? Lawrence just totally whipped the bike over, pulled the tear off.
Let's go to Aaron Bates.
Well, guys, a disappointing start to the season for Ryan Villopoto. Ryan, what exactly took off with it there?
I was sitting there on the line and the bike just quit before we even dropped. So hopefully they get it fixed soon so I can hit the LCQ.
Good luck to you tonight.
Ryan Villopoto on the MDK KTM muscle milk back machine. He's going to the LCQ with Dungey.
Here comes Lawrence.
Look at Lawrence challenging for second on the inside. He'll make the pass.
Okay, now here's our two champions from last season. Neither rider is afraid to bang bars.
And here's an interesting thing, Jeff. Trey Kennard, our race leader, battled with Ryan Villopoto throughout the East Championship last year. And Villopoto threw everything at him. I'm not so sure that Lawrence is going to be able to intimidate Kennard the way he might have gotten into Dungey's head last year.
I don't think so, but I'm telling you, both these riders are laying down some hot laps right now. They're running about a 102 pace.
Well, one thing Lawrence can do is reel him in, because he's doing that right now. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to intimidate him, but he's certainly showing he's got a lot of speed. I talked with Trey earlier today. He was as calm, cool, and collected as I've ever seen a young Lites rider.
Well, we've seen Trey Kennard last year come out the opening rounds with great starts, solid rides, really set the pace for the season, and that was his opening round. Oh, he triples that, a triple single before the finish. Lawrence tripling out of that section. That tells me that the riders are really finding some great lines on the track here tonight.
In fact, Kennard won his first ever Supercross Lites race, which was at the Georgia Dome last year. How tough of a move was that Kennard just pulled off?
Very difficult. You can see both riders very comfortable whipping the bike in the air, just flicking the bike around. Kennard seems to be a little quicker in section, Lawrence and others. Kennard seems to be riding a little fast, but a little tight, you know, a little conservative. Lawrence, on the other hand, total wild shot. He's got nothing to lose right now. He's absolutely going for it. Now he is close. He is on Kennard.
How close does he have to get for Kennard to know he's there? Right now
he knows.
He knows now.
So Kennard tripled that, and then a single. Lawrence doing a different rhythm there. Oh, he came up a little short on the triple. See Kennard right here, triple. Oh, and he came up short there also. Very difficult rhythm sections here. This is the tight section. Now, as you get back onto the start straight here, this big left-handed sweeper, this is where the track really starts to open up. The riders will come over this, shift to third, fourth, maybe even fifth here. Really wind the engine out, the RPMs going across the whoops.
Jeff, for those that have never seen a Supercross before, Kennard is down. Kennard goes down, and Lawrence is our new leader here in heat number 2. Can Kennard get going quick enough to salvage a spot in the top 9?
Well, he's up and going, but you have to wonder if there's just something about the aura of Jason Lawrence that being behind you that makes you think behind you rather than in front of you, and if that had any bearing on Kennard making a mistake there. Wow, that's incredible.
And that would be huge. If Jason Lawrence can get into the mind of all of his competitors, if he came over before the season even begins. Let's see what happens here to Kennard.
Well, Kennard there, he's down. You see the yellow flag out. He's down just, and if you notice right up in here, some of that soil is a little bit sloppy right in that area. See him lose the front wheel. He was actually trying to get into this rut here. Look right there. The Byrne blew out on him.
And that's right where Lawrence went.
Yeah.
Lawrence went through that rut.
And that could have just simply been a situation where Trey really pressed it hard. This is the same turn right here. You see Lawrence just tiptoed through there. But have Kennard really come in and try to lay the bike over, because there is so much traction tonight, but then that rut blew out on him.
Well, Lawrence should take it a little bit easy. He's got almost a 4-second lead over rear. Kennard was able to remount his bike and re-enter the race in third. Remember, the top 9 transfer. Those are the names in green. Scrolling across the top of the screen, those in red, not in the transfer position.
I tell you, if I'm Jason Lawrence, I am pumped, because my bike and my gear, that looks hot.
Yeah.
This whole setup,
working.
Number 1 plate, and he's out front for the first heat. That's how you want to start the season there.
And your number 1 nemesis is going to the LCQ.
Yeah.
If Jason Lawrence comes out of Anaheim, he takes a win in the heat race. But if he comes out of here with the win at A1, oh boy, the trash talking will be on, don't you think?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's going to begin right now. He's definitely dialed in. It was, yeah, it's not bragging if you can back it up, right?
I guess.
Well, Lawrence, it was questionable what his program was during the offseason. See him patting his #1 plate, looking up at the fans. Did he do enough work? Was he focused enough? At this point, you would have to say yes.
You have to think so. I mean, it's so hard to tell. The kid is naturally gifted. There's no question about it. This is our first look at Jason with the helmet off. And here are the top 9 riders all the way down to Adam Chatfield going straight to the main. Daniel Hendricks will meet Dungey in the LCQ. Big break for Trey Kennard, though, to salvage third. Not only does he not have to go to the LCQ, he'll still get a decent gate pick.
Yeah. Really, really solid ride for Kennard.
Up on the victory podium is where we'll find Jason Lawrence with our Aaron Bates.
Last year's West Coast Lites champion, picking up right where he had left off. Jason, tell us what was going through your mind when you saw your nemesis crash in his heat race, and now he's going to the LCQ.
I've seen that so many times. I mean, feels like I've talked to you a year ago and we're telling you the same thing, but kid makes a lot of mistakes, and I'll just be here to capitalize on him.
Jason Lawrence, he plans on having the riding, doing the talking for him this year.
Apparently, we're not going to have to wait to the end of the main event for a little bit of the trash talking. It's already began. But you know what? As you said, hey, when you're the guy standing on the top of the podium, you've backed up your end of the story.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Jason Lawrence has done it. He's taken a heat race. Trey Kennard, he's gone to the main, and obviously he's got the speed. Maybe he'll take a checkered flag in the main a little later on tonight. And Ryan Dungey's going to have to work his way through the last chance qualifier. Can he minimize the mistakes and stand atop the podium tonight? And Jason Lawrence is ready to battle, no doubt about it. Welcome back to the opening round of the 2009 Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship season. Ralph Shaheen, Jeff Emig with you high above Angel Stadium here in Anaheim. We've had the first 2 heat races for the lights classes. We're getting ready to drop the gate for the first 2 races of the Superbike or the Supercross series. Getting ahead of myself. Superbikes returns to speed this January with host Jason Britton. See a side of the sport bike scene like no other. Hang out with Jason for gravity-defying stunts. Check out the latest riding gear designed for you. Superbike season premiere January 20th, only on Speed. Well, those are our first riders for the Supercross class in the gate. Let's get this one going as we get to our Supercross Heat 1 up close. 20 riders here, 8 laps, top 9 advancing to the main. Everybody else to the last chance qualifier. And we're going to get to see Ryan Villopoto right away, Jeff. But let's first talk about this racetrack here in Anaheim. Yeah, well, the main thing to remember is this section from here all the way around there, that's pretty fast. Then you come through these sections all the way to the finish, it's pretty tight. So it's kind of split, you know what I'm saying? Important always to get the start, but it's really important to be focused all the way through this heat race, get a good starting position for the main. Progressive pre-race report from Aaron Bates. Well, here's a look at our Honda starting lineup scrolling across the screen. We get to see Villopoto, we get to see the reigning champ, Chad Reed, Andrew Short from Honda here, as well as Kevin Windham on his Honda, and Tim Ferry. So we'll see both of the Monster Energy Kawasaki riders here. There's Reed on the 1. Gets the whole shot, and Mike Alessi on the Rockstar Makita Suzuki on the 800, and Chad Reed moves himself into second. Oh, Reed misses the triple. Alessi comes flying through as Reed has big problems.
Reed was off the track. He's still on the outside of the Byrne, leading into the sand.
That's Matt Bonney on the 54, who also had problems, but Villopoto comes rocketing out of the gate.
Wow, and Chad Reed was third off the start. Now he was buried at the tail end of this pack. That is going to open this thing wide up for a very fast Ryan Villopoto to kick off his Supercross career. And he does the triple quad. Oh, and Alessi
has problems in the yellow. The Suzuki rider stumbling through the rhythm section, and Tim Ferry, Villopoto's teammate on the 15, closes in quickly.
Well, and remember, Mike Alessi has been suffering from injuries. His comfort level on the bike and his timing may be just a little bit off.
There you see Ferry take second away from Alessi. Let's go back and see what happened to Chad Reed. Watch him on the right side of your screen.
Watch the top of your screen, and Chad Reed's going to come all the way around the outside here. All the way around the berm as he just watches rider after rider funnel past him.
Jeff, the rule is you have to re-enter the racetrack as quickly as you can in a safe way.
And not gain a position.
And not gain a position. So there you see Chad Reed right now listed back in 12th. He's got to get into the top 9 to go straight to the main event and not the last chance qualifier. He's battling with the 75 bike of Josh Hill, who won a Supercross, his first of his. Oh, down. Oh, I thought Hill went down behind the billboard there.
They touched.
They certainly touched. Hill, a winner in Minneapolis last year.
You've seen Hill's left blade come flying up.
Let's take another look at that, Jeff.
Here it comes. We got a front row seat as you see the champion Chad Reed come in.
Oh, Hill was all off the bike.
Hill was off the. Hill was actually anticipating a bigger hit. Chad Reed kept it clean. Hill's lucky he didn't just let the bike go there.
Villopoto already has a 6.6-second lead over his teammate Tim Ferry. Jeff, what will it mean for Ryan Villopoto's Supercross program if he can win his first heat race?
Oh, it'll be phenomenal. What a confidence booster it is. And for Villopoto, his fastest qualifying time was a 1:07. Right now he's already just bested that, but not by much. But he's on the gas.
There you see Alessi, he's dropped back to 5th. And boy, has he come back from some absolutely nasty injuries from the summer.
And it is so difficult to come back from injury here in Supercross and then to have your timing and everything right and to be ready. But Mike Alessi faded back to 5th, but now he's starting to stabilize. He knows he's in a qualifying position.
And it's going to take a long road of recovery for Mike Alessi to get back to full race condition.
Yeah, it takes a lot of laps on the test track and a lot of racing to feel proper.
The battle for 3rd is a pretty good one. Andrew Short on the 29 is catching up to the 141 of Steve Boniface on his Honda. So a couple Honda-mounted riders have it out of here. Chad Reed, by the way, has moved himself into a transfer spot. He's up to 6th as you watch names scroll across the top of the screen. Here comes Short on the Red Bull Honda, the factory bike number 29.
Here's Short to the inside. He takes the line away from Boniface. And Boniface grabbed this ride on the Troy Lee Honda team after Jimmy Albertson went down with an injury. It's a very difficult sport. There's a lot of risk involved in Supercross. It takes hours and hours of conditioning and practicing and training to be able to ride a motorcycle like this. You can't just show up to a racetrack like this and ride like these guys do.
We do our best with their camera angles to give you an indication of just how treacherous, I guess, is about the only way you can describe the obstacles at a Supercross event. But until you actually go out and walk the track, you really can't imagine just how steep and how big some of these jumps are. Here's Reed up the inside on Alessi on the number 1. And he gets past his teammate to take over another position. That'll move Reed up to 5th.
And Reed right now, 1:05. That is the fastest lap of this race. So Chad Reed is on the gas. And little mistakes not holding him back. He's just giving him a chance to really work it. Our leader, Ryan Villopoto, is at a 1:01.9. That's close to 2 seconds.
Boniface bobbles, and Reed gets another spot now. That'll put him up to 4th. He's going after Andrew Short now to try to get into the top 3. So at this stage of the game, Reed is fighting for gate position.
Oh, definitely. But he's just racing forward right now. He's just really trying to get his mind and his body conditioned for the pace that he's going to have to run in the main event if he wants to walk away from A1 victorious.
Every year that Chad Reed has won here at A1, he's gone on to win a championship. It's a big thing for him. He's put a lot of focus, and talking to him about it, he's put a lot of focus into performing well here tonight. And here you see Ryan Villopoto up to 8.6 seconds over Tim Ferry in the battle between 1st and 2nd place. That's not only big for him to win this first heat, but Jeff, he's dominating this race.
Dominating the race. His teammate, Timmy Ferry, one of our veteran riders, in second, short just behind him, but Villopoto really looking solid. See him taking that rhythm section before the finish line in a triple single.
And a performance like this is what the Kawasaki team manager, Mike Fisher, and the rest of the organization were hoping for when they knew James Stewart was moving on.
Well, yeah, it's been close to a year that James Stewart and Kawasaki had split ways, even though he finished up his contract last season. Villopoto is the future for Kawasaki. Right now, it looks like they've made the right choice.
He's one of the lights, and everybody was wondering, what would he do when he gets to the bigger bike? Jeff, is it really a big transition?
Oh, yeah. There's so much horsepower. I mean, the Lites bikes are great. Don't get me wrong. But Ryan Villopoto is on a new fuel-injected Kawasaki. There's 3 bikes. Kawi, Suzuki, and Honda have fuel injection. I'm telling you, I've rode the production bike. The fuel injection is the future. It is incredible how much snap the engine has.
Kevin Windham, who came so close to winning the championship last year, losing out to Chad Reed at the end, is back to 8th here in the heat race as the white flag is out. Not a good indicator for this rider, Kevin Windham, the veteran, hoping to perform better here on his Geico Power Sports packed entry.
Well, it's definitely not how you want to start the season. That's for sure. Villopoto, on the other hand, he's doing everything right. Windham's a veteran, though. He knows this is a long season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint race necessarily, but still, it's not a good ride back up the tunnel. Back to the pits, you know what I'm saying?
Alan, we've talked, Jeff, time and time again about the mental aspect of this sport, and a performance like that can get in your psyche and ruin you for the night.
Well, we've talked about it, and you've told me that since you've been around Supercross, your observation is that we are the most mental group of racers that you've ever seen.
You are. You personally have your own mental issues, but that's a conversation for another time. But the checker flag waves for Ryan Villopoto, who mentally right now has got to be feeling on top of the world as he has won his first Supercross heat race and is on his way to maybe winning his first Supercross main event. Josh Hill, the number 75, looking for the transfer spot.
One turn to go here. This hasn't been the greatest heat race for him, but you can see he's got a couple bike links right now on Preston, who's got the new ride on the KTM, but at the flag, it is Hill.
Josh Hill will get it. Preston goes to the last chance qualifier. And Chad Reed finishes in 4th, but there he is, Ryan Villopoto. Well, the first part of the mission for the night accomplished.
Well, Villopoto's been very quiet over the offseason. You know, he was doing his work. The press conference we had yesterday, you know, didn't have a lot to say. He said, you know, I'm just looking for a good, solid ride. But right now, he's out front, and he's a favorite for the win.
There you see Kawasaki taking the top 2 spots, showing some strength early on this season, and Chad Reed in 4th. Steve Boniface holds on for 5th. Mike Alessi 6th. Aaron.
Ryan Villopoto wasted no time getting his feet wet for that heat race. Ryan, did you just exceed your expectations?
You know, I got a great start. You know, I beat the so-called whole shot master. You know, got a great start and got out there and just tried to ride my own race. And you know, there's definitely a little bit of nerves going on with it being the very first race.
Those were nerves. You definitely handle it well. Ryan Villopoto, your heat winner, heat number 1.
The whole shot master that he's talking about was Mike Alessi, who's very good at the whole shot.
Well, and Mike Alessi and Villopoto have bad blood that goes way back to their mini bike days.
There he is, James Stewart, arguably the fastest man on a Supercross machine. We're going to get to see the number 7 on his new bike when we come back to Anaheim for more Supercross Live on Speed.
Many have.
They're the riders for heat number 2 for the Supercross class in the gate, getting ready to go here at Angel Stadium. Time now once again to give you our Go Green trivia question presented by Kawasaki and a chance for you to win a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. And here's today's question. Who holds the record for most wins by a rookie in a single Supercross season? To enter, either text your answer, number 1, 2, 3, or 4, to Speed 3, which is 773333. Standard texting rates apply, or you can log on to speedtv.com, keyword Kawasaki. Now here's your choices. Number 1, Ricky Carmichael. Number 2, Chad Reed. Number 3, James Stewart. Number 4, Jeremy McGrath. No Jeff Emmett, huh? The winner will receive a 32 gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Stay tuned to the end of tonight's show. We'll give you the correct answer to tonight's Go Green trivia question. Good luck. 30-second board is up. We're ready to go. Heat number 2. All the stars on hand. There's Catherine Morris from Cole Case. She plays Lily Rush on the show. She's turned out to be a huge Supercross fan. She's got
she loves it. Yeah.
A lot
she's
of folks
here to see number 7.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Man.
Supercross up close as we get ready for heat number 2. 20 more riders, 8 laps, top 9 to the main. Here we go. Where is James Stewart? He's going to the lead. Here he comes. Number 7 right to the front.
And what a hole shot for Bobby Canary.
And don't adjust your dials. James Stewart is riding a blue bike. You're so used to seeing him on that green Kawasaki. It's been years since he's ridden anything but a Kawasaki.
Yeah, and I tell you another change as we take a look here. This is number 3, Josh Grant on the Toyota Yamaha. This is a rider that has moved up from the Lights division. Here from local boy from here in Riverside, California.
On the Joe Gibbs Racing entry, number 33, Josh Grant. He's making the move for second, takes that spot away. Jeff, a lot of folks have said that this team has got everything in place to be a contender. They just needed the right rider lineup. Maybe Josh Grant is a big piece to that puzzle.
Well, and Josh Grant has totally been on the gas. We've got a yellow flag.
That's the number 13 of Keith Voss out of Texas.
And I'm telling you, as we look at the mid-pack here, if you look at the top of your screen,
Davi Millsaps, here he comes. The factory Honda rider moving through. Battling with Voss. Millsaps has found his way to the top step of the podium in Supercross last year.
And all the Honda guys, they're on a brand new redesigned machine. This is one of the riders here. Oh, here's James Stewart. Goes for this triple, makes a little mistake.
Oh, man.
Catch the top like he is so lucky that he didn't wash the front end there. But as you see this battle here, this is James Stewart doing that quad in the rhythm section. And just behind him, coming into the screen now, is Josh Grant. Josh Grant can turn as fast as lap time as anyone out there. Second qualifying practice. Josh Grant actually had the fastest time over everyone.
The question for Grant, I think, is not so much can he do it once, but can he do it over a course of 8 laps here now, 20 laps in the main.
Yeah, well, we know Stewart can, but yeah. Grant's going to have to warm up to it. But the point is that he can ride a motorcycle that fast, and so that's very encouraging. And this is a new team for him, a new lease on his career after riding for Factory Connection Honda for so long.
Here comes Millsaps on the 18. Won his first race at his home event in 2008 at the Georgia Dome. Also took a win in Detroit.
Look at Voss putting the pressure on Canary.
Millsaps riding for the Factory Honda squad. And that's a team that's just happy to have a whole bunch of healthy riders coming into the year.
Yeah, over the past few years, Team Honda definitely has had their health problems, but it seems like now with a new bike, the riders and everybody are pretty healthy, except for Big Town Week. A lot of optimism here. They think they're going to have some good things happen in 2009.
Watch this battle. This is 4th, 5th, 6th, all battling in here. Coulon, the French rider on the Suzuki number 933, right in the mix with him. And there's Ivan Tedesco on the number 9. And he's fighting out with Big Quasi on the 979. And Tedesco, one of those factory Honda riders who's really excited about coming into the season, finally feeling physically fit.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling good. He didn't get the start he wanted. Right now he's behind Ben Quasi, who's actually another French rider. And in France, oh, here goes Ivan to the inside.
Inside, and then switching to the outside as he works around the 719 as well, which is a lapped rider, Vince Freeze.
What I was going to say is in France, they love Supercross. Next to the U.S., France is a real hotbed for Supercross talent. That's why we see Coulon, Quasi, We're going to see Christophe Pourcel on the Lites East. There's some serious talent comes out of that country.
And there's been some great, one rider down. That's Coulon right there on the 933. That French rider struggling right now, but there's been some great French riders who have been over here in years past. Jean-Michel Bell, former champion, David Millsaps, a lot of great riders.
Yeah, and Jean-Michel Bell really is he's the legendary French rider that came over to Supercross, raced against Stanton, Bradshaw, all these guys, and he just had a unique talent and style of riding the machine, and that has influenced all of the French riders over the past 15, 20 years.
When you talk to these riders now from France who are here, most of them will tell you JMB was a guy they all looked up to.
Oh, he's a legend. I seen him do things on a motorcycle I just couldn't believe. Most of the time it was when he was laughing at me, though.
Yeah. It was a thrill to watch. And Ivan Tedesco, speaking with Ivan earlier today, he said, you know, I've done my homework. I feel really ready to go. I've never felt better. Now I just need to see where I'm at when I get out there at race pace.
Yeah, and you see Ivan taking a look over when he hit the triple. He was looking back towards the finish line area to see where some of the riders are. Tedesco now running 6th place, looking to see up the track, and that's encouraging. He's not worried about what's behind him. He's concerned with where are the riders in front because I'm going forward.
Do you think the fact that he is behind some guys like Heath Voss and Robbie Canary right now is the fact that maybe he's not as prepared as he needs to be, or is it just part of that bad start?
Oh, it's part of the bad start. Ivan Tedesco has had so many great rides here, though, back when he was on Pro Circuit Kawasaki in the Lites division, multi-time champion. So he knows this stadium well. He knows this energy. He knows what the opening round is all about. Just didn't get the start that he needed, but right now, he's really starting to lay it down, running about a 104, a little bit off from James Stewart. He's leading the race right now with a 102 lap time, so. And James's best was 1 minute flat. So Tedesco's going to have to pick up the pace right now. He's going to have to prepare himself and get mentally right for the main event.
Ivan won the Supercross Lites West Championship back in 2004 and 2005. There's the man that everybody says is the fastest Supercross rider on the planet. Even though he's not wearing the #1 plate, he is arguably, not even arguably, I mean, it's hard to argue it. He is James Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart is just such a unique and special individual. He came into this sport from an amateur. His first year as a professional, riding the 125 two-stroke bikes, and he has this amazing amount of corner speed and how he carries momentum. They've even coined the scrub, what he does over the jumps to keep the bike lower. He's one of the most talented riders that I've ever seen.
There's Josh Grant on the 33. And the final lap of heat number 2.
Solid ride for Josh Grant. This is exactly what Josh needed to kick off the season for Joe Gibbs Racing, this Toyota Yamaha team, to get it right. Because last year, the Gibbs team, they had their share of bad luck. The riders did not perform up to par. This is a solid team. This may be a support team, but they have all of the capabilities of any factory team out there. And in the years to come, we might even see that the influence from the NASCAR race shop and all that could make them the Premier League.
They all are in the same complex. And here comes the checkered flag for James Stewart, making his way to the checkered flag. By the way, he's undefeated since he has switched to Yamaha. He hasn't lost a race yet on this blue bike.
So I say things are going good.
Yeah, not bad. Checkered flag for James, and that undefeated streak is not just here. He went over to Europe. He won the Bercy Supercross, and he won the U.S. Open of Supercross as well to wrap up the 08 season. So James Stewart is ready to go in 09, off to a great start, as he's going to finish 11.4 seconds in front of Josh Grant.
And this is an all-new James Stewart you're seeing here, except for his goggles.
Yeah.
Helmet, gear, boots,
everything.
Bike, everything is new. Inside, though, it's the same champion that we've seen so many times before just impress us.
Well, and James talked about that. He said, you know, when I come to a point where I'm ready to make a change, I just clean house. And the only reason why he really didn't change the goggle deal is because he's very close with Anthony Paggio from Oakley, who he works with.
Yeah, well, Stewart's had some great support over the years. Now he's just making a transition, and it's a great way for him to start the season.
Here's a look at the results from heat number 2. Stewart, Grant, Millsaps, Canary, Tedesco will get the transfer. Charles Summey will take the KTM on to the main event. Great start for him on his new team.
Yep.
Paul Carpenter will go to the last chance qualifier, and we go to Aaron.
James Stewart making that heat race look way too easy. James, are you as comfortable on this new bike as you just made it look?
Yeah, you know, we just got to make some improvements and, you know, keep working. You know, team's trying really hard. The track's difficult. You know, it's really rough, and, you know, just got to make it. And I feel pretty good. You know, we'll see what happens. Ryan and Chad's round really good, and just got to make it work.
James Stewart never quite satisfied even with a win. Congratulations, taking Heat 2 win.
Thank you.
Yeah, he is number one right now.
Well, that really is the case, too. I mean, how many times do we hear Ricky Carmichael win, but then say, hey, we have to be better. We can be better, and that's the type of mentality that a champion carries.
When you see him talking to his mechanic right there, getting ready, who, by the way, was Chad Reed's mechanic just a year ago. That's all part of the process, Jeff, because as you said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint race. So even though you're getting better just for tonight, you're also getting better for that 17-race season.
Absolutely.
So James Stewart will head back to the pits. We'll head to break. We got some last chance qualifiers coming up for you here as Speed's live coverage from Anaheim continues. Welcome back. Monster Energy AMA Supercross, the season opener from Angels Stadium in Anaheim, California. Glad to have you with us. We're getting ready for the first of two last chance qualifiers. This will be the Supercross Lites class that you'll see first. We'll take two more riders out of this for tonight's main event. Let's head down to Aaron Bates for a Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Well, guys, you're going to notice the number 10 of Ryan Dungey is back on the line again, but this time for the LCQ, and normally we don't see him there. We witnessed him crash during that first heat race, and what happened is he had some motor problems. They wouldn't explain exactly what it was, but they did take the bike back to the pits. They put a brand new motor in it, and right now I asked him what's going on through his mind. He said he's trying to stay as calm as possible. He said this is not the position he wants to be in at Anaheim 1, but he's going to deal with it nonetheless.
How tough is that on you mentally as a rider?
Well, you're doubting whether or not the bike is right, but it's tougher on the mechanics. Can you imagine what they had to do to take the whole engine out and put a brand new one in the time that it took us to run the first and second Supercross heat? Incredible.
A lot of work.
So this is it for Dungey.
He's got to make it.
Got to make it.
He's got to be top two.
He's got to be top two. In a short series like these regional light series are, you really can't afford to blow a race and not make a main event.
Well, and you cannot allow for anybody to get that much of a head start on you. If he can get through this, 22 riders, 4 laps, just 2 going on, if he can get into that main, he can salvage it.
And it's so interesting, you know, with Jason Lawrence, we think of him as the wild child, and it's kind of crazy, but he seems to be mentally tough. Dungey seems like he works hard, does everything right, and seems to make these mental mistakes. Now, I know the bike thing wasn't his. We're going to see how he can rebound.
Now we'll see where he's at mentally.
We'll see where he is at mentally, and if he has improved his state of mind and that mental strength for this season, he's going to need it.
Looking into the eyes of Ryan Dungey. Let's be fair to the factory Suzuki guys, they don't normally have engine problems like that. We have not seen that. But this is one of those fuel injected bikes.
There it is, whole shot to Dungey.
Oh, 1 rider down, 2 riders down, but Dungey does get the whole shot. He's got company too, including the 31 machine, Ryan Sipes, who also had no plans on being in the LCQ tonight.
And also Michael Paglia, local boy from Murrieta, California, on the Suzuki in 3rd. So he's just outside of the qualifying position. Definitely the 2 favorites for this race. Sipes and Dungey are out front. Now you see Sipes, he's been there on the inside of Dungey, but he's keeping it very clean. He knows that in this race, second's as good as a first, but as long as he's not getting pressure from the rider behind him, he can just ride it out, okay? The last thing you want to do is be going for the win to really press for that and end up having you both go down or both make a mistake.
Throw the whole thing away.
Throw the whole night away, yes. And this race happens fast.
Yeah.
Lites LCQ goes by, I mean, just like that.
Well, the good news for Dungey, he's already gone further in the LCQ than he did in his heat races. He didn't make the completion of lap number 1 there.
Wow, what a positive attitude you have. That is
I'm just
phenomenal.
building towards the main. Building towards the main. Baby steps.
For Dungey, he really has to make sure that the bike is right here, has to gain confidence in his machine and gain confidence in himself. Get the heart going, get the lungs going, okay? Get the mind going, get up to race pace, and prepare himself for the main event.
These 4 laps, if he can hang on and win, is like one giant deep breath for Ryan Dungey as he gets set in front of the main.
And Roger DeCoster.
Yeah, and his mechanic, and everybody else over there.
Oh, yeah. I've been in this position before. I've been in the position where in the qualifying rounds before the heats even, I crashed, was looking at an LCQ just to make it to the night. Ended up winning the main event that night in Houston, 1990. It can be done.
He's going to have a lousy gate pick. How much will that affect him tonight?
I think the start is pretty fair. There's a lot of traction out there. If he gets out the gate right on the outside, nice, open, flowing first turn. This is where the riders are at now.
Yeah.
But it can be done. I remember when McGrath, I think it was in Detroit one year, had to go through the LCQ. He said there's no way he's going to win tonight. You know what I mean? I was in the race, obviously, too. He ends up getting out in the top 5, winning the main event after the LCQ. Nobody had ever done that before at the time. So,
well, we'll see if Ryan feels the same way you do, because when I actually walked turn 1 with him this morning at Ryder Walk-Around, and I asked him that very question. I said, where would you want to be coming for turn 1? And he said, the last place I want to be is on the outside gate. But maybe that's where he's going to be.
He won't be on the outside route. He'll be 1 in.
Yeah, 1 in. That's right. Now you're getting like me. A little bit baby steps of positive.
Yeah. And hey, there's a lot of positive things happening right here for the 31 of Muscle Milk KTM, Ryan Sipes. Talked to him yesterday at the press conference. Just a great attitude. He has found a wonderful home here with KTM, putting in some solid rides. He is looking for a win, though. That's his short-term goal, okay? Being in the LCQ here at A1, this isn't where he wanted to be. His goal is to win a race. Not thinking that far as a championship. So, Sipes has been super fast.
Final lap.
Just solid, yep.
And remember, he had problems too mechanically at the start of his race in his heat. So these 2 riders seem to have gotten their mechanical issues figured out.
Getting their mojo working.
Yep.
This is my first mojo of the year.
That's it. We'll probably have a few more before the year's over, though.
Yeah, all you fans out there on the internet, let's keep track of it, right? The mojo meter.
The mojo meter. Well, it's going to be pretty high right here for Ryan Dungey after winning a last chance qualifier if he can hang on for a few more corners.
There's that section where the engine quit on him. Sure would like to know what that was. I'm not sure they're going to tell us here on Speed.
I doubt it. The checkered flag falls for Dungey. He's going to the main, and he can finally breathe, and Sipes will join him there. Everybody else heads to the grandstands to watch the main. And look at Ryan. Just a big sigh of relief. Whew. I'm in. Wow. Well, the opening ceremonies were spectacular here in Anaheim. We'll be back for one more last chance qualifier.
This January, Monster Energy AMA Supercross live from Anaheim. The brand new season is just starting, so don't miss your chance to be a part of the action. Tickets for sale now, so go to supercrossonline.com now for all the details and how you can see it all live.
This February, Supercars Exposed returns to speed with all new episodes. Drift champion Tanner Faust takes you to the fast lane of the world's most super exotic and super fast cars. Catch the season premiere of Supercars Exposed with Tanner Faust this February, exclusively on Speed. That's the board everybody wants to be listed in the #1 spot on.
Fastest qualifier, yep.
The scoring pylon in the center of the racetrack here at Angel Stadium. All this equipment that you see here gets packed up and loaded into semis and traveled all around the country each and every week. All those tough blocks you see, the scoring pylons, the starter stands, victory podium, all of it comes with us. And we'll be right back for another LCQ after this. That is the place to see and be seen here at Anaheim where it comes to Supercross. It's called the Knothole Club. It's out in right field of the baseball stadium here. And if you're a celebrity VIP,
that's the place.
Boy, that is it. They're all in there. We've seen a lot of them walking around and hanging out in the pit area today. A lot of big-time celebrities here, a lot of famous racing people. I saw Johnny O'Hara had a great conversation with the Osho earlier today.
Oh, Osho's a legend. We see Ben Townley, some of the Team Honda guys up there. He's injured, that's why he's watching.
That is where you want to be. So if you get to come to Anaheim for Supercross, make sure you request a Knothole Club ticket. Fro has them all usually.
Yeah, I keep them all in my pocket.
Up close, Supercross LCQ, 22 riders, 6 laps for the big bikes. Top 2 advancing to the main from this one to fill out the field. There you see Josh Hansen on the number 100 Hart and Huntington entry. Great looking bikes this year. Did you see the new bikes at Kerry Hart's team?
Yeah, phenomenal graphic design, and there's some talented riders in here.
Tremendous paint scheme on those bikes. Well, let's touch base with Aaron for a progressive pre-race report on Travis Preston.
The number 11 of Travis Preston is also aboard a brand new bike this year, the Jägermeister KTM team. When I asked him what happened, why he's lined up on the LCQ line, he said, to be honest, I've been sitting on the couch for the last couple of weeks. Just 2 weeks ago, he broke his right hand, and he's already out here trying to race again. He said it is so chaotic out there. He said it's almost like an arena cross. He said he's not sure what it has to do with. Maybe it's the brand new track with 180-degree corners. He said everybody is riding like animals. He said this race is all about the start.
Jeff, arena cross takes place in hockey and basketball arenas, Supercross and football, baseball stadiums. How different is the racing? You've done both.
Very different. Very, it's so much faster, so much, the jumps are so much bigger. But I tell you here tonight, the track, the racing surface is so sticky. There's so much traction. That's what's allowing the riders to really be aggressive.
Faster and bigger jumps in Supercross.
Yes, oh yes. This is it. Last chance to get in the main event for A1. Some very talented riders here. Carpenter, Preston, Hansen, Bonnie.
Oh, boy, they stack up hard going into turn 1. The 21 having problems as well. Cody Cooper on the Joe Gibbs Racing entry.
Looks like everyone's getting up.
Christopher Johnson on the 354 is involved. There you see Preston on the 11. That's Cooper on the 21. And our leader going by right now, you see the 52nd of Jacob Barsak.
And watch everyone stack up. It's Cooper that gets taken down first. Preston right here on top of Cooper. Wow, you see Cooper just got caught right in the middle of all that, and that's what A1 is about. Last chance qualifier, none of these riders giving an inch to anyone.
Travis Preston just said they were riding like animals out there. Is that an example of that, or is that what you should expect to see?
That was some serious aggression. This is how these riders earn their living, okay? This is how they pay the mortgage. They're not letting anyone go. The first turn, what if that sort of aggression transfers into the main event?
Well, and that's where we've said before that you don't necessarily win the championship at Anaheim, but you can certainly put yourself in a position to lose it.
Oh, no doubt about it. And look at this. We got Marzak out front, Sorby, Hansen.
Eric Sorby having a great run on the 917.
And what could happen if we get Sorby and Hansen together? Neither one of these riders races very clean, especially when Sorby is the one that has the final transfer position to the main event. Josh Hansen, how many times have we seen him here at Anaheim absolutely lay somebody out to make it into the main or to get onto the podium?
Well, there you see Jacob Barsak, who when it gets muddy, Jeff, the muddier it is, like San Francisco and Daytona last year, Jacob Barsak rises through the soup and performs flawlessly. Here we got a dry race track. He's having a great run.
He is absolutely flying here in the first LCQ of the year. No, he makes a little mistake, a little head bob. That's going to allow Sorby to catch up. And you do not want Sorby on your rear tires. Some of these tight, or some of these fast 180s.
Hey, Sorby's got his own problems. He's got Hansen right on him and Carpenter on the 35. Carpenter trying to get inside of Hansen. Pulls the pass off on the green machine. Put Carpenter to third. Hansen back to fourth. Hansen's on the 100. Second bike in line here.
There goes Hansen trying to run it up the inside. This race isn't over at all. 3 of 6 down right now. You see the mechanics giving the words of encouragement as they go through the mechanics area on the pit boards.
If you're new to Supercross, there's no pit lane like you see in most racing because there's no pit stops, but there is a mechanics area.
Yeah.
And in that mechanics area, they will be holding out signboards, giving signals and encouragement to their rider.
Here comes Carpenter. He did the triple quad into the triple.
That was
Look
big.
how he really closed up on Sorby. Now Sorby knows how to ride a wide bike. He's another one of the French riders that came over.
Has moved himself back to North Carolina. Sorby has found a big home in Charlotte.
Loves it.
Loves it back there. He loves it.
A French man in the South?
Yeah, and let me tell you, he's become a big part of the scene back there, too.
Oh,
look at the drive by Carpenter, though. Carpenter comes flying out of the corner and takes over second place, which is the final transfer. But now we also see the 54 of Kinneary, or Bonnie, I should say, closing in on this. And Hansen is dropped back to 5th.
But remember, this is how he just gets him back here. Oh, and Bonnie on the inside takes the position.
Sorby back to second, the final transfer, but here comes Bonnie by on the inside. And Sorby tries to square it back up, can't get it done, and Bonnie starts to rock it away. He chasing after now Jacob Marsack.
And look at Matt Bonnie on the DNA BTO Sports Honda. Incredible ride, how he picked his way with a lot of aggression, found a smooth line, wasn't sucked into that battle where he felt the need to actually touch the other rider, just weaved his way through.
Carpenter coming past Sorby on the inside. That is for 3rd.
And that's all for nothing. You need to be in the position that Bonnie is in to go to the main event.
You either get 1st or 2nd, or you head up to the seats in the grandstands.
There it is, 54. That's Bonnie. He's got the spot.
1 lap and a half to go.
These riders are letting it all hang out. Look at Sorby. He has to check up on the brakes there. Look at Carpenter. He goes
Carpenter
by.
coming past the 57 of Marsack to take over the lead.
And Bonnie's already in the lead.
Yeah, that's right.
And Marsack has dropped back now.
He slipped back now. And so Marsack finds himself back in 3rd. Timing and scoring hasn't even caught up with all this yet. As they cross the line with 1 to go, they will. As you see, Bonnie now your leader, Carpenter 2nd, Marsack 3rd, Sorby 4th, Hansen 5th. But again, it's just those top 2 spots that matter, which belong to Bonnie and Carpenter at this stage.
What an incredible ride for Matt Bonnie on the Honda. He worked his way through all of these riders. It was complete chaos out there. Riders going every which way, and he found a line. Just went straight to the front and has not looked back. Oh, Carpenter makes a little mistake.
Carpenter trying to hang on. Riding on that Cernix Kawasaki.
That'll get the heart rate up. This is the LCQ of the opening round here.
Boy, and Marsack has got to just be so frustrated, sitting back in 3rd if he can make something happen here on Carpenter.
And Carpenter has to be very careful because if Marsack's right there, Marsack tries to make a move here in the last couple of turns. Sorby's right on him.
Right.
This isn't over yet for the final transfer position.
And Marsack's got nothing to lose. He might as well stuff it in there if he can. There's a checkered flag. The win goes to Bonnie. 2nd will go to Carpenter. So Marsack, who had this thing won, ends up finishing 3rd, and out of it, Bonnie ends up taking the win. Carpenter takes 2nd place. Well, that's the LCQ for you.
Wow. Some phenomenal last chance qualifier racing. All live here on Speed in high definition. I am so stoked, Ralph. This is great.
And Jeff, it's really a precursor to the type of attitude we're going to see in the main tonight.
Yes.
Which is what is coming up. 2 main events yet to go here tonight before we wrap things up with the curtain raiser for the 2009 season. Fans are having a great time. We hope you are too.
A cast iron.
Fans fans here in Angel Stadium in Anaheim having a great time as we've worked our way through the heat races and the last chance qualifiers. Everybody getting ready now for the main events yet to come. Welcome back inside Angel Stadium. Ralph Shaheen with you. As you see, the fans of the grandstands are having a great time here tonight at Supercross. And the program you've been seeing here tonight is what you would see if you come to any one of the 17 races that are contested across the country and in Canada as well. And Supercross is a tremendous fan experience. In fact, if you talk to the riders, they'll tell you Supercross is really all about the fan.
Supercross it's pretty gnarly, and it's really nerve-wracking. And you know, the first year or two when I came into the sport, you walk out and the opening ceremony is just there's so many people it's full, and that comes down to where it's actually a really fun sport and the fans love it. And when you get done racing, you go out and mingle with the fans. They love, you know, talking to you. They like when someone will actually sit there and talk to them, and you know, they ask you questions like, you know, how is the track, or what is it like out there racing? You know, you sit there and talk to them, they're like, wow, you know, it's just like they're the same as me, and that's how I look at it. You're no better than me, and I'm no better than you. So
I mean, there's a different bunch of people every weekend, you know, especially, you know, from people at Anaheim, you know, crazy fans. It's a great family, you know, great family atmosphere.
Yeah, the fans at Supercross are crazy. You know, they get into it. It's cool when there's 60,000 plus fans in the stands cheering for you when you're out there racing. And you know, we have a unique sport where they can come in the pits.
When I was a little kid, I wanted, you know, everybody's autograph. If they had a factory ride, to me, they were the hardest people alive.
Interacting with the fans is great because you can relate to them. We all love dirt bikes most of the time. And you have the casual fan that likes to come and watch a good race, which is awesome. Fans I most enjoy are the ones that ride and enjoy the sport as well, because I can really relate to them. And it's almost like we have a passion that's mutual.
To definitely see the fans and to see everybody back at the truck, and you know, you gotta weave and waver through all the people to get out to the track and then to come back in. That's always a really, really neat thing to see. You know, I think everybody that's, you know, yelling your name, screaming your name.
Go Chad Reed! Yeah! Chad Reed!
It's an amazing feeling. It makes you feel really, really good, and it makes you feel like you're appreciated. It all started from the love of the sport, and behind all the glamour, that's really all we are. You know, we're just people who love to race motorcycles that are actually, you know, really, really fortunate enough to be in a position to be able to ride them really fast, and to make that our job and have people, you know, love and respect that. And I think that's what I love about it, you know. And I think having the fans around is really, really important. But overall, I think it's amazing for our sport that, you know, that those fans are there and they're cheering and yelling and wearing your number and supporting you.
That tremendous fan experience at a Supercross event is one of the reasons why Supercross is quickly becoming one of the fastest growing forms of motorsports you'll find anywhere in the country. And you can tell by the packed grandstand here tonight in Anaheim. These folks having a great time. Lots still to come your way here on Speed as our live coverage from the drop of the first green gate to the last checker flag of the night continues. We'll have Dave Despain's essay on Supercross rivalries, and Ryan Villopoto, maybe he's going to win his first feature race here tonight, and we'll have a feature for you on him as well. We'll have the Supercross Lites main event as well, and the Supercross main to help kick off the 2009 season. Stay with us. We're coming right back for plenty more action from here in Anaheim. Great beard.
Hi.
There's a good look at the big crowd on hand here tonight at Anaheim. Home of Major League Baseball's Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim is what they officially call them now. You know, the odds makers will tell you this 2009 Supercross Championship shapes up as a two-man race. Defending champion Chad Reed versus outdoor national champ James Stewart. By definition, of course, that means a rivalry. So how might this year's matchup compare with some of the all-time great Supercross rivalries? Speed's Dave Despain offers his recollections.
Okay, let's start right here in Anaheim. Many call the '86 season opener the best Supercross race ever. The Honda duo of Ricky Johnson and David Bailey battled to the wire, Bailey barely beating his new teammate. Inspired by the loss, RJ came back to defeat David for the title. Sadly, their rivalry was short-lived. Bailey suffering career-ending injury, training for the '87 season. Without Bailey to battle, Johnson lost some of his motivation. Enter Jeff Ward. In the role of Johnson rival, Wardy won the '87 Supercross title. Johnson took it back in '88. They had epic outdoor battles, and then Johnson too was injured, having won the first 5 races of the '89 Supercross season. That led to an international Honda teammate rivalry. Michigan's Jeff Stanton versus Frenchman Jean-Michel Bayle. They fought tooth and nail for most of 4 years, with Yamaha's Damon Bradshaw always the spoil, often the star. In the end, Stanton took 3 crowns to Bayle's 1. Bradshaw never claimed the big prize. Meantime, Honda's Jeremy McGrath was headed for center stage, barely edging Yamaha's Jeff Emig for the '91 Western Supercross Lites crown, then redefining the sport. Showtime eventually won a record 72 races and 7 titles. But his rival Emig spoiled Jeremy's perfect Supercross season in '96, winning St. Louis, whipped McGrath outdoors, and then claimed the '97 Supercross crown, the only title Jeremy lost, until Ricky Carmichael came along. For 2 years, RC chased McGrath. In '01 in San Diego, Ricky caught him, passed him, beat him. Ricky Carmichael can feel it. He can see it. He wins his second Supercross of his career. It was a seismic shift. McGrath won the following week back here at Anaheim and never won again. Carmichael claimed the last 13 races in a row en route to the '01 title, then added 4 more crowns in the next 5 years. That brings us to the current protagonists. Reed's first championship came in '04. RC was down with a knee injury. He titled again last year when Stewart was hurt. Moving to Suzuki for '09, Chad needs a championship against healthy competition to ensure his place in history. Stewart, protege of Carmichael, fastest cat out there when he's healthy. Takes over Reed's former ride on the team San Manuel Yamaha. That adds another dimension to what should be a great '09 title fight. And another chapter in a rivalry which, who knows, might be one for the ages.
Some serious battles have taken place here on the Angels Stadium floor over history, and this guy knows all too well all about it. 5 AMA Supercross titles and 1 World Supercross titles. Ricky, you've been there, you have done it all, but talk about the rivalry between you and Jeremy McGrath. Did you guys actually dislike each other back then, or it was just competitors battling?
I didn't like him one bit, but no, it was very, very competitive because I think he always was kind of, not always for me because I was supposed to be the guy to beat him, and it took me a couple years, and I kind of buckled down and ended up being able to beat him finally. And but yeah, it was definitely heated for sure, and I trained my heart out every off season to beat the guy.
Back here on the sidelines, just watching and supporting, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's going to be a great year. I just want to see whoever wins it have to work for it. It's good for the sport, and that much more gratifying for the winner.
Ricky, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming and joining us here down the floor at Angel Stadium.
Thank you very much.
Well, after all those battles and all those championships and race wins, he earned the nickname the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Ricky Carmichael taking to the show.
The new engine.
There's a look at the Jägermeister freestyle ramps at every one of the Supercross stops this season. Cowboy Kenny Bartram and his gang of high-flying buddies are going to be putting on a show while they get ready for the main events. It's a great addition to the Supercross season. Ralph Shaheen, Jeff Emig with you once again. Jeff, what can we expect as we get ready for the mains?
Well, I think the heat races and the LCQ has shown us that the track is in primo condition. There's lots of traction there. There is passing spots, but it's allowing the riders to really be aggressive. I mean, have you seen the this much aggressive riding?
It's been intense.
In the opening round, it just tees us up to have 2 great main events in the Lites and the Supercross.
Well, do you think Ryan Villopoto has something for James Stewart? He won his heat.
Definitely. Yeah.
Can he do it?
Oh, yeah. He definitely can.
Really? Wow. We'll have to find out as we get set for the main events. Villopoto and Stewart, Dungey, Lawrence, all these great rivalries getting set to get underway for 2009. The main event, we're going to drop the gate here in a few minutes. The anticipation continuing to build here inside of Angel Stadium as we get closer to the two opening main events of the 2009 Supercross season. Glad to have you back with us once again. Jeff, let's talk about Ryan Villopoto a little bit more. What makes you think that he's ready to chase James Stewart for a championship or a win here tonight?
Well, let's just start with the win here tonight. Villopoto has won in this building before. He knows how to win races. He has a very comprehensive training program, testing program. I have a lot of confidence in him. Monster Energy Kawasaki, I think that they really have it together, and I think it's going to take the start. He might need a little luck on his side, but he definitely has the speed and he has the skill. So I think Villopoto can do it.
It's been one of the most highly anticipated moves out of the lights class to the big bikes, that of Ryan Villopoto up to the Supercross class. But the question was, is he ready?
Moving up to the 450 class next year, and you know, it's going to be a big jump. Lights class is, I wouldn't say relatively easy, but it's definitely easier than the 450 class, and there's double the races in Supercross, and then you also got to do all of outdoors, so it's definitely going to be a big jump. So preparing during when you're a lights rider is do the most you can, and you know, hopefully when you get there, you're not too far behind the 8-ball.
It's a big step, but it's something that that he's kind of put himself in the position like a year ago. A lot of people thought he should have moved up last year, and we didn't think he should. And like I just think a little bit more experience and a little bit more time to just mature and be stronger was the right thing to do.
For some guys to transfer for the 125 class to the 450, you know, it's tough. Like I said, it's twice the races in Supercross, and with injuries and all that stuff playing in, it definitely gets tough.
I think next year, I think he'll be in the thick of it for sure. You know, it'd be nice to see him win races. My goal would be for him to go in there next year and gain some experience and worry about it the second year. I don't know if he'll do that, but he'll be a player in indoor and outdoors.
Coming up to Anaheim 1, James and Chad are definitely going to be in the back of my mind, but for me, with first race, all the hype, this and that, I just want to basically start all back over again, just put in 20 clean laps, you know, my laps, and not worry about anybody else. And from what I've seen in the past, that should put me on the podium.
I think he'll answer the call wherever he's at, indoors, outdoor, 250 or 450.
With 2009 season, I want to be, you know, in the hunt for, you know, if a mistake gets thrown out there, or, you know, for a win, or, you know, if that doesn't come, you know, just be, you know, on the box. And if I can do that, I'll be happy.
Well, here's a look at how some of the greatest names in Supercross have done in their rookie seasons. Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, Chad Reed, James Stewart. Jeff, do you think he can stack up with these guys? And what's going through his mind? Is he worried about stacking up with these guys?
Ryan Villopoto has a tremendous amount of desire and determination. He works hard. He is not here to participate. Villopoto is here to win races. That's what he's been doing his whole career. He's not going to stop now that he's got up to the Supercross class. This is the premier class. He wants to be on that list.
Well, and as you can see, the king of Supercross, Jeremy McGrath, the only rookie to ever win the championship, and he pulled off 10 wins in the process, and that's why you get crowned the king of the sport when you begin your career like that.
Yeah, he went on a long string of wins there that first season, and really showed that he was the king of Supercross.
Made it miserable for a lot of other people, yourself included, for a long time. Well, here's what some of the freestyle highlights of Kenny Bartram and the guys are performing here. You can catch their act at every one of the Supercross stops around the country this season.
The new CRF 450
Supercross Lites West Region promises to be one of the most competitive and wide-open battles in the history of the sport. In 2008, Lites East champ Trey Kennard was a revelation on his way to the title. The tough and aggressive Oklahoman is once again a championship contender. Suzuki's Ryan Dungey has done it all in the Lites class, except win a championship. Side-by-side, ball over the triple, and it's Dungey taking the lead. Last season, his own personal nemesis, Yamaha's Jason Lawrence, saw to that. Toss in another half-dozen young riders looking to prove themselves worthy of Supercross stardom, and this Light season promises to be one for the ages. The Supercross Light season gets underway exclusively right now on Speed. And you will see every lap of the East and West Coast Supercross Lights Championships here on Speed, as we are the official home of the Supercross Lights Championships. Let's take a look at what we've got for you as we get ready for the main event. 20 riders, 15 laps. We'll see Jake Weimer and Jason Lawrence, who both won their heats. Ryan Dungey had to come through the LCQ, but he's made it to the main. Lawrence, of course, was the fastest in qualifying. Boy, he's been fast all night. The last Supercross Lights winner here in Anaheim, Ryan Dungey.
He needs that tonight.
Big time. And there is Jason Lawrence making his way out to the gate. Time once again for our Go Green trivia question presented by Kawasaki. A chance for you to win a 32GB Apple iPod Touch. So here's today's question now. Who holds a record for most wins by a rookie in a single Supercross season? To enter, either text your answer, number 1, 2, 3, or 4, speed 3, 77 3333. Standard texting rates apply, or you can log on to speedtv.com, keyword Kawasaki. It's either number 1, Ricky Carmichael, number 2, Chad Reed, number 3, James Stewart, and number 4, Jeremy McGrath. The winner will receive a 32GB Apple iPod Touch. Stay tuned to the end of tonight's show, and we'll give you the correct answer to tonight's Go Green trivia question. Good luck to that. And if you weren't rating the fridge during that last segment, we've already given you a hint.
That's right.
There's Ryan Dungey on his number 10. And he's worked through the engine issues, won the last chance qualifier. But how ready is Ryan Dungey for 2009?
I try to go into it and you know, and have fun, you know, and enjoy it. That's what it is, you know. I go for it. If I'm gonna trace up to the front lately, yeah, I've been getting a little wild, but it's just, I want to win, you know. I did everything I could to throw that championship away last year. I ain't gonna let it happen again.
What was going through your mind that first lap when you saw Ryan Dungey on the ground?
Oh, I was happy. I'm not gonna lie and say I was surprised. I've seen that a lot lately, but that's cool. You know, we're gonna go into this long break, and all he's gonna have to think about is how he blew it the past 4 races.
With Jason Lawrence being a rivalry, it's good, you know. I feed off of it, you know, every little bit. I hope we race the same coast because there's unfinished business, and you know, I might be getting a little ahead of myself right now, but you know that there's some unfinished business that I need to take care of. I've lost all respect for that kid, and I know a lot of people have, but and it ain't a situation where, yeah, he won the championship, you know, all the power to him. You know, yeah, he won the championship. Yeah, he's a good rider, I'll say that. But to the point, what he does and what he goes about and how he goes about things, it ain't professional at all.
Here comes Dungey. Dungey around the outside of Hepler, cuts back inside. Side by side, ball over the triple, and it's Dungey taking the lead.
Going to that line, like I'm ready. You know, I know that I work harder than anybody on that line, and that I'll do anything more than they will, and that you know, when it comes time, I'm the most fittest guy out there and ready, and I know that, you know, for a fact. And with that, that's all I can do. So it's just a matter of time.
Well, he's accomplished the first part. He's made it into the main. It was a long road, but he's there. Ryan Dungey will take a shot at Jason Lawrence now. Ready for Progressive Direct pre-race support with Aaron.
Due to all the controversy that took place last season between the Supercross Lites West Coast champion Jason Lawrence and the AMA, Jason Lawrence was having a hard time landing a ride with Yamaha. So what he decided to do was take matters into his own hands and restructure his entire program. He actually funded an entire team of his own, the Boost Mobile AM/PM Monster team. And what he's doing, he's funding this entire program. He said he's got a whole new program set for himself this year. This cat, he said, keep his enemies close, or his friends close, and his enemies even closer.
Jeff, he's had a lot of issues off the track. In fact, he dealt with some suspensions during the year, had to go to Europe to get some training ready because he couldn't race over here in the States leading into the 09 season.
He's ready here tonight, though.
Yes, he is.
He can win tonight. He is loose. He's been smiling on the line. Here it is.
Main event time, ready to go. Dungey had to come from the far outside. He got buried deep in the pack as the 122 and Dan Reardon into the early lead. There's Lawrence, and Lawrence is down. Lawrence goes down. He's buried in the pack. Here's Lawrence right here trying to get up and get going.
Trey Kennard and Jason Lawrence came together.
Lawrence is now rolling. He's got issues with his helmet, Jeff.
Kyle Cunningham was down also. Lawrence's visor has been ripped off of his helmet. You can see it hanging off the right side.
How much of a problem is that for him?
It shouldn't be a problem. The roost isn't that bad, you know, unless it's flying around and if it loosens up. Watch this replay right here at the top of your screen. See, Lawrence catches his front wheel on the back of Weimer. That pushes him into Kennard. Both of our champions from last season are down on the opening lap of the opening round. That allows Dan Reardon out front. And Jake Weimer, one of our heat winners, setting in second place.
And Ryan Dungey, who had to hear Jason Lawrence say earlier tonight that he's used to seeing Dungey make mistakes. Dungey now is in 10th, feeding off of the mistake by Jason Lawrence.
Interesting turn of events here tonight at Anaheim. We've just felt it from the beginning of the press conference up till this point. All the practices and heat races, there is something about this track tonight that is allowing the racing, the riders to be very aggressive.
And Jeff, for those that are new to Supercross, we need to remind them too why this is so important. Because the Lites championship seasons are shorter than the Supercross season. There's 2 championships inside of 1 season. Not a lot of rounds.
2 8-race championships plus the shootout at the end.
And those championships are wrapped up before we get to the shootout. The shootout is a non-points race.
And look at Sipes, 31 on the KTM. Remember, he got the final qualifying position.
Reardon has his hands full of Weimer. This is a fight for the lead. Reardon is on the 122, the Geico Power Sports Honda, the red bike. And right behind him comes the number 19, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki of Jake Weimer.
And Reardon, one of the Australian transplants, former Australian Supercross champion. His rookie season was last year. He got some experience. It's making it pay off at this point.
Boy, what a shot in the arm this would be for Reardon if he can hold on and win this opening round.
Oh, there's a little mistake. The pressure from Weimer starting to build. Here's Weimer to the inside.
And he's going to complete the pass.
And the triple out. What a move by Weimer.
Well, he's been on fire all night tonight, Jeff. Jake Weimer has really come out swinging, but Reardon is not done. He comes right back to apply the pressure. Over the big finish line jump. And Reardon closes right back up under braking. Watching them fight for the lead. Remember, this is scheduled for 15 laps.
And if you look back in the pack, you see our leaderboard across the top. You'll see Ryan Dungey, one of the preseason favorites. He's up to 8th.
And Lawrence is already to 10th. So Lawrence comes slicing through the pack. There he is on that number 1. How far can he get? How many points can he salvage here tonight?
Lawrence is looking over his shoulder. He wants to know who's next in line because he is absolutely flying.
Well, one thing he does know is that Dungey's in front of him. And he won't rest till he catches him.
Well, when you're down off on the first lap, just about everybody is in front of you. But he's already picked his way through almost half of the field here.
Jeff, you and I are working in an open-air booth here at Angel Stadium, and we spent the first part of the night in shirt sleeves, and now we've got jackets on. The temperature has dropped rapidly in the last 10 minutes. Well, how's that going to affect things on the track? Watching the battle for the lead here.
You can see Reardon. He just jumped to the outside. The main line was back there. And Weimer, Reardon just left the door open, and Weimer took advantage of it, just stepped through.
Getting back to the temperature, how's the drop in temperature going to affect things tonight?
It's difficult because it affects the jetting of the motorcycle. So the race teams, they have to calculate that. They have to be able to forecast what the engine is going to run like and what they need to do when the air gets cooler.
Won't be the same situation for some of the factory teams in the Supercross class because they've got fuel injection though.
Yeah, definitely the fuel injection compensates for all of that. None of the 250Fs machines here have the fuel injection. It's definitely coming in the future.
Let's check in with Aaron.
Well, guys, number 36 of Kyle Cunningham having a very upsetting main event. As you can see, his mechanic is working vigorously, trying to get his gear shifter out. They can't seem to get it worked out at the moment. A very upsetting moment for Kyle Cunningham. He said he's not sure whether or not another rider had hit him. He said whatever the problem is, it's not how he wanted to start off this season.
Yeah, he was part of that casualty with Lawrence and Kennard there off of the first lap.
Kennard, by the way, is in 19th. There you see the 1:16 of Morris. He had a great heat race. He's running in 4th. And Reardon, Brayton having a good night in an opening to his season as well.
KTM boys putting on a solid main event here.
Boy, and Reardon's one of those guys who's just worked hard to get himself in this position. Kind of got started racing a little late in his teens, whereas a lot of guys get started when they're 5 years old.
Or even younger.
Or younger, yeah.
Just a phenomenal battle that we have here between Reardon, Brayton, and Morris. That's for second.
Jeff, I think what's really interesting is we talked about how stacked the Lites West Coast Championship is. But let's face it, coming into tonight, these guys that we're seeing at the front weren't the guys that we were thinking were going to be battling for the win here tonight or the championship. We figured they'd be in contention, but not this far up with guys like Lawrence, Dungey, and Kennard that far back.
Well, we only have so much time in the opening of the show to talk about the guys. You have to talk about the champions, but these riders here, it's obvious that they have had the proper preparation in the off-season. They've put together a training and testing program that is, and they have a great formula for success.
Brayton! Oh, 2 riders down as Reardon goes down first, and then Brayton runs right into his rear wheel. Oh, there goes the 31 machine of Sights as well. There goes Dungey by.
So that's 2 positions for Dungey. Oh, this is going to be an interesting replay, Ralph. I will walk you through it. I know exactly what happened here.
Boy, they have raced so hard and saw such great fortune just slip right through their hands.
Now watch Brayton. He goes to give a little peek to the inside. Reardon loses the front wheel, and he was in the line where Brayton wanted to exit the turn. And you see right in there, here's another replay. You see, he just loses the front wheel, and then Brayton's front wheel goes right in between the fender, stacks it up. Heartbreaking for such a phenomenal ride that they had going as a group there, battling for the podium positions.
No problem for Jake Weimer, though. Weimer is 6 seconds in front of Morris right now. And he's more than halfway through this main event.
This is a great feeling here, but even as easy as Weimer's making it look, it's very challenging inside, inside of your head, because you're out there all by yourself, and things start to creep into your mind. Hey, I'm going to win this race. You know what I mean? All these things. So you have to fight off all the negative feelings or the negative thoughts, work your way through the lapped riders. But as you can see, Dungey here,
from the last chance qualifier to 4th.
He's close.
He's now up to 3rd, actually. And Lawrence is up to 5th.
So what we have to keep an eye on, Ralph, and all of our speed viewers, is where's Weimer's lap time? Can he continue to keep a good lap time? Dungey is running a 102.5, Weimer a 103.6. That's a full second with 7 to go. 7 seconds. And he's a little more than that. This could be close.
There's Lawrence. Charging through.
Lawrence 23 seconds behind our leader, Jake Weimer. Dungey, one of the preseason favorites, he's 12 seconds behind Weimer last time across the stripe.
That visor still, wow, look at him run right up along the barriers, right along where the mechanics area is. Let's watch how Lawrence sliced his way through this field.
Lawrence off the track. That's questionable.
That's not right.
The officials are going to have to take a look at that. Yeah,
Jeff, he cut the track.
He cut the track. He missed the whole turn.
We said earlier,
he needed to turn around.
You have to re-enter the racetrack as quickly as you can in a safe area and not advance a position. You cut the track, you advance quite a bit.
Yeah, he cut off a good 5 seconds there.
Well, now that will probably put a screeching halt to Lawrence's quick rise up through the field when this one is over, I would think.
Probably a good chance that this 6th place that he's in now is going to be a 16th or 20th.
And my guess is the first person who will question that is when he sees the video will be Ryan Dungey.
Or Roger DeCosta.
Oh, Roger DeCosta, team manager for the Suzuki squad, yeah. Well, while Lawrence finishes this race, maybe all for naught, we go back to the lead. Jake Weimer.
Weimer across the stripe there. That was a 105.1. Weimer, his best time, a 102.1, so he's 3 seconds off. With 5 laps to go, Weimer has backed off the pace, but will he back off too much? Is he too comfortable now? Are those demons starting to creep into his head that you've got this one? Don't make a mistake.
And we always talk about race preparation, too, that you can go out and train as hard as you want, but until you get into the race and you see the pace of everybody else, you don't really know where you are. You can't really stack yourself up against the competition.
Yeah, it is very tough here, and there's so much excitement here tonight. This is such a big race. Dungey, he's already been on the ground. He's already shaken off those demons. He has got his head down. He is charging forward. Dungey 9 seconds behind our leader.
Can you believe the night Ryan Dungey has had? I mean, he has motor problems. They have to change the motor. He's got to go to the LCQ. He's sitting in 3rd. Still stands a chance to win this. His #1 rival gets his gear deal the other day. Comes in here talking smack. Wins his heat race. Already starts talking down Dungey, and then he cuts the track. And it might be all for naught for Lawrence. And Dungey can come out after all of that with a huge points night.
It's the youth gone wild, I tell you. This is a crazy night of racing. There has just been something in the air here.
Quoting Skid Row now, are you? There you go. Let's go back and take a look at our progressive whole shot replay.
Focusing on our champion, #1, Jason Lawrence. He didn't get it. 122. Dan Reardon on the Geico Honda has that all the way.
Well, here is Jake Weimer. And as we mentioned at the beginning of this, when we were into the heat races, Jeff, Mitch Payton and the folks at the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Camp are an absolute champion factory. They just keep producing champions year after year after year. But with Ryan Villopoto leaving, a lot of people were questioning whether or not Mitch Payton would have a championship contender on this squad. Well, and here comes Jake Weimer.
Well, Jake Weimer went to Pro Circuit. He said, I feel that the Pro Circuit Kawasaki and Mitch Payton's team is the best place, the best opportunity for me to win a Lites championship. Like I said, he signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm here, it's make or break. I'm going to prove to everybody that I can do it. Right now, he's showing us in the opening round.
And oh, by the way, Ryan Morris in 2nd place. Monster Energy Pro Circuit Team Rider. What is it about Mitch Payton that takes these guys and suddenly makes them championship contenders? Is it what he does to them mentally and physically in preparing them, or what he does to the bikes?
It's the hard work and dedication that Mitch and his crew and his company, Pro Circuit Racing, that they put in. There is nobody in racing that is as passionate and as driven to winning races and producing quality products as Mitch Payton and Pro Circuit. And they show it, you know, it manifests itself through the race team. Keep in mind, Mitch Payton also builds engines and products for other race teams.
That's right.
And he gives them the best product that he can possibly give. He's very fair that way.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't hold back at all.
Now, our leaders are into lap traffic, and this could be a break from Weimer because Dungey, there you see him, has been coming strong through the pack.
There's a good 5 or 6 riders between Weimer and Dungey.
And about 5 seconds between Weimer and Dungey as well as it got to this bit of traffic.
Well, and remember, it's tough. You see that rider there taking the one line that Dungey needed. Now he pulls out of the way. That was Chatfield. But the whoops here, one line. Sometimes it's easier to be second going through the lappers than it is first. You're the first rider through. Keep in mind, these guys are battling for their own position.
And we've only got 2 laps to go, too.
So it's going to be close here. Dungey was a little under 5 seconds behind the last time by. Weimer's at the stripe for the white flag.
They just got around Ryan Clark on the 55. Final lap is underway, and it's a gap of 4.5 seconds.
And still, this is a phenomenal ride for the night that Ryan Dungey had. What a comeback from his crash there in the heat race. Bad starting pick, had to go through the LCQ, but to work his way up to a second place, 20 points. 20 points towards the championship. At the end of this night, Lawrence is going to wish he had those 20.
Oh, and Lawrence is going to wish he might have 1 point at the end of this night, because he's about to maybe get absolutely nothing out of this once the officials see the video.
But look at Dungey, he's closing up on Morris. Morris is in the position for 22 points.
And the next
second
stop,
place.
These riders will all be making their way to Phoenix, Chase Field in Phoenix a week from tonight. And of course, we will be there to bring you that coverage as well.
2 turns to go, no mistakes for Jake Weimer, and he will win A1. All these riders are close.
Jake Weimer on his way to a huge statement. He said he wanted to make one, and he just did. He wins Anaheim 1. Jake Weimer and Ryan Morris take the Monster Energy Pro Circuit team to the top 2 steps, and then Weimer crashes after, but that's okay. He's already claimed the checkered flag. So Mitch Payton and the Pro Circuit team, everybody was wondering if they would have a competitive team this year. Guess what? They just took the top 2 spots on the podium. Tremendous performance.
Tremendous performance for all 3 of our podium riders. Wow, what a ride.
And Dungey's going to finish 3rd. Now, just so you know, Jason Lawrence crossed the line in 4th. But there is video evidence that he cut the track as well. We'll see how that plays out. Wow. Well, we thought the Lites West Coast region was going to be a thriller, and it was here in Anaheim. We'll come right back to Angel Stadium to talk to the new points leader, Jake Weimer.
This January
of our Supercross Lites West Coast main event. No controversy about who won it, though. Jake Weimer, in a dominating performance all night tonight, has made a huge statement. This is where the controversy is. Jason Lawrence goes off track and then cuts a big chunk of the track off. Now, Jeff, playing devil's advocate here, did he in any way, shape, or form not have an opportunity to go back the other way? Was that not a safe thing for him to do?
It's the call from the AMA. It would seem to think here that, you know, Jason came by and the finish line in 4th, but could he have made an effort to get back around to that U-turn because he cut off part of the track?
A large
part. But the issue comes in, could he have gone back in a safe manner, a safe way? And that's up to the discretion of the AMA.
The AMA rule says you have to re-enter the track as quickly and as safely as you can. The AMA has seen the video, and they'll make the call on that. Jason Lawrence, by the way, has already left the field and is headed to the truck. We head down to Aaron.
Well, the controversy and drama has already begun between Ryan Dungey and Jason Lawrence. But Ryan, all the way from the LCQ win up here to make it on the podium, and a little smack talk earlier. What do you have to say? The AMA right now is looking at some footage to find out if Jason Lawrence has cut the track.
I don't know. I'm not even worried about that kid, you know. Capitalize on his mistakes right there, you know. He's just, dude, I don't even know what to say, but I just got to give it up for my team. I felt great out there. A lot of carnage tonight, but we were able to come through and didn't break us. So we're up here and got lots of rounds to go yet.
How do you feel about your first race of the season?
I feel great. You know, I rode hard, just didn't get out of the gate like I wanted to, and hey, I got to take it from here, you know, being consistent.
Congratulations on making it up to the podium.
Thank you.
That's a big night for Ryan Dungey to work his way through all of that and to get up onto that podium like that.
Well, if that's not showing mental toughness, I don't know what is. He definitely has grown over the offseason.
The road to Vegas, that's what we're beginning here tonight, the first weekend in May. Jeff and I and the entire speed crew, along with the entire Supercross circus that travels around the country and into Canada, will wrap up the season in Sam Boyd Stadium Master Championships will be handed out. For the Lites contestants, that means the East-West shootout. And Jake Weimer, boy, might be coming in there as a West Coast champion.
Yeah, what a phenomenal ride for Jake Weimer.
Let's head back down to Aaron.
Ryan Morris wasn't even sure if he had a career racing a dirt bike just a couple of months ago, having a bloodstream infection. How hard did that make you work for this tonight?
Well, I mean, after that whole thing went on, I was down in the hole bad. My health was really bad, and I got it under control. And luckily, Mitch gave me a chance. You know, I was down there begging him for this opportunity, and I told him to give him everything I got. And really excited to be up here. I couldn't have been up here without those guys down at the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. You know, my fiance for the support, my family, my friends, just everybody.
Congratulations. Mitch Payton took a gamble, and so far it's already paid off.
Well, it was a great bet on his part, Aaron. These guys came out of the box ready to go, and they look like they're going to be very, very competitive this season. Let's show you some of the upcoming schedule. You got your bags packed, Jeff? Because we're going to be busy.
Oh, yeah.
17 races in 18 weeks. We get the Easter weekend off, but we're headed to Chase Field in Phoenix and right back here for Anaheim 2 with our friends over at CBS bringing you the coverage. We'll be at Reliance Stadium in Houston and in San Francisco. Of course, all the light shows you'll see on Speed. East Coast, West Coast, doesn't matter. We are the home of the Lites class. Those are the next few races, and we go right back to the podium in Aaron.
You can consider it a perfect night from start to finish for the 19 of Jake Weimer. Jake, you were that guy that kind of has always doubted yourself a little bit. What did tonight's win do for your confidence?
You know, it's so good. It's you know, it almost feels like the best feeling ever to win the opener at Anaheim 1. You know what? You know, during the off season, we worked so hard, and it's just so good to be able to, you know, come out here and win. And with my new team, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, it does not get any better than this.
Okay, take us through the pass for the lead.
I don't even remember where I did it.
It's just in the first couple of laps. It wasn't even that memorable. Were you that excited?
Yeah, I really was, to be honest with you. You know, I got a good start. I was in second, and yeah, I think I passed Dan right over here. But, you know, I just tried to keep my nose clean. I waited a few laps, waited till I had the perfect opportunity, and then, you know, took advantage and just, you know, I made a pretty big mistake there about in the middle, and luckily I saved it and went on to take the win.
Congratulations on your win this evening. What a way to start off the season.
By the way, the lady just to the left there, Jake Weimer, is Casey Edmondson, the new Miss Supercross, and we welcome her to the 2009 tour as well. On February 19th, Bull Run is back, and it's only on Speed. Bill Goldberg is taking 12 teams on a little road trip across the Southwest. These teams will compete for over 200 grand in prizes, but one wrong move, and the only roadside assistance they'll need is directions home. Bull Run with Bill Goldberg premieres February 19th, exclusively on Speed.
I want a piece of that Bull Run. That sounds like
Not
fun.
Goldberg, though. You don't want to mess with him. Big muscle car guy, Goldberg. We'll be right back. Main event time. Supercross coming up.
The hotter the hot, the colder the cold.
Ryan Villopoto. Everybody's been wondering how would he do when he stepped up to the big bikes. He's already got a heat race win. Kevin Windham came close to winning the 2008 championship, but he struggled in his heat. James Stewart, no problem switching to the color blue. He's undefeated so far. Chad Reed, not ready to let go of the #1 plate yet. You can see who these guys are cheering for. They got their signs, they're ready to go. So are we hope you are. It is time for the first of 17 main events that make up the 2009 Monster Energy Supercross season. We'll have 20 riders for 20 laps in our main event. Villopoto and Stewart, as we said, heat race winners. Matt Bonney, not the LCQ winner. Chad Reed won A1 last year, and he said, Jeff, every time I win at A1, I win a championship.
Then he needs to win here tonight.
Big, big night. Let's check in one more time. Progressive pre-race report from Aaron Bates.
Ryan Villopoto has already made his debut in the Supercross class by winning his heat race. He said he's not satisfied with that yet. There's still the main event to go. He might be the rookie in this class, but he has teammates with the veteran, Tim Ferry. And when I asked Tim Ferry if he had any advice to give the rookie, he said, are you kidding me? He's already won the heat race. He already beat me second in practice. And he said, the only advice I'm going to give that kid is don't eat yellow snow. Looks like Tim Ferry is not going to be giving Ryan Villopoto any additional tips.
Riders getting their goggles ready. Jeff, this track we've talked about has been pretty good tonight.
It has been good because it has allowed the riders to be very aggressive. I don't know whether it's specifically whether it's the design or that the consistency of the soil. You know, there's some tight sections over here. It's really fast around the first turn in the start area. Bottom line is the gloves are off. These riders are going for it. I know they say it's a marathon, but I'm telling you, every one of these riders on the line wants to win here tonight at A1.
This is where you make the statement. Jake Weimer mentioned that in the lights class. Well, you know, Stewart, Reed, Villopoto, Windham, and the rest are all thinking the same thing about this main event right here. Make your statement right now. Statement as he gets the whole shot, but Josh Grant is right there with him on the 33.
Reed's third.
Chad Reed is on the number 1. And Stewart starts to pull away as Grant and Reed stack up in the turn. James Stewart is undefeated so far on this Yamaha, and he doesn't want to stop that streak anytime soon.
Reed needs to get past Grant. He can't mess around with Grant. He has to get past him, focus on James Stewart, and not let him get away.
He did.
There he is.
He's past him.
There he is.
The Rockstar Makita Suzuki rider is now past Grant and sets after Stewart. And Jeff, we saw these two riders go head-to-head twice last year. Here in Anaheim, where Reed beat Stewart, and then in Phoenix, where Stewart beat Reed and then disappeared due to his knee injury.
Stewart makes a mistake.
Oh, he sure did.
Reed closes the gap. Is this one of that battle? Is this where Reed gets it back? Stewart takes it back like the Bailey Johnson days? The Bailey Ward days?
1986, they say, was the greatest Supercross race of all time. And it took place here. Maybe we're about to see another epic one.
Hey, the way that the track is shaped up, and just the way that that feeling that we have in the air here tonight, the excitement of the crowd, we all have the best seat in the house. We are here. Next best seat, live on speed. There it is.
And Reed is really making some moves going into the corners. And Stewart getting a great drive out.
Look at that triple quad into a main triple.
And Reed is matching him. Jeff, he's not having any problems.
To the inside.
Here comes Reed up the inside, and we've got a change for the lead. And boy, you can hear the reaction from this packed Anaheim crowd. And remember, James Stewart is on Reed's bike from last year that he won the championship with. And Reed is riding for the team that Ricky Carmichael beat him with.
Not too many riders make passes on James Stewart, and Reed absolutely is flying right now. He's got some fantastic lines on the track.
That was Mike Gosler. That was Ricky Carmichael's old mechanic, who is now Reed's mechanic.
So now is the experience that Suzuki has given Chad Reed with Gosler, the leadership of Roger DeCoster.
Here's
Is
Villopoto.
that what he needs?
Villopoto had a bad start. He's in 9th. He's battling with Tedesco right now on number 9. Tedesco on the factory Honda. And there's Tim Ferry just in front of him, his teammate. That's Villopoto's teammate.
So Villopoto trying to pick his way through here. You can see him going double, 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 single there. That is not the fast line. He's going to have to pick it up. Oh, now he goes down. Now he really has
down. He's really got to get going now.
Uh-oh, did he? Let's see if this fuel-injected Kawasaki starts quickly. It does. That's one of the advantages now with the 3 machines that have fuel injection, is that they start very easy compared to the carbureted machine.
450's notoriously tough to restart once they get hot, but that's the carbureted version. KTM and Yamaha still running the carbureted version. Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Honda all fuel injected now.
Here's the replay. You see Villopoto just go in, grab a little too much front brake, some of that loose dirt, and look at the gap that Chad Reed has on James Stewart.
Wow.
1.8 seconds at the stride.
Jeff,
Reed is
huge.
solid.
That is huge. Let's see where it's at now as they come across the line. 1.4. Stewart not done. Josh Grant still holding 3rd to the Joe Gibbs Toyota-backed Yamaha team.
And remember, James Stewart is trained by Alden Baker, legendary trainer of World MotoGP champion Nicky Hayden, and of course Ricky Carmichael.
There's
the
Grant.
experience that he brings.
There's Grant on the 33. Could you imagine? We talked about how everybody has been saying this Gibbs team has everything they need except for the right riding talent. What a boost this would be for team owner Coy Gibbs and team manager Jeremy Albrecht if they could pull this off and get on the podium tonight.
Well, remember last year they just had so many problems with the riders, injuries, everything. But now they, in the off season, when they hired Josh Grant, they said we're going to give him the chance. We believe in him, and it's been a great off season with the training and the testing. Jeremy Albrecht and the guys there have been very happy with it, and now they're showing the results here. This is where all the hard work pays off. Evidently, they have a good program.
And Kevin Windham has bounced back from his heat race. He didn't look very good in the heat. He's running fourth now. And look at Stewart come flying through that section, Jeff.
It's tight now. Stewart back on the gas. He's reeling in Chad Reed.
Boy, Aaron, Chad Reed looks awful strong, though.
Chad Reed definitely does. If you're wondering what happened to him in his heat race, I'd asked him. He got tangled up in the very first corner with his teammate, number 800 of Mike Alessi. Ended up getting his brake lever stuck, or pardon me, his gear stuck in second gear. He wasn't able to get it out of there for quite some time. He said after enough time, he finally was able to push it out. Back he went.
Stewart came flying into that corner, Jeff, and he almost catastrophically crashed.
Well, he's doing a triple in that tight section. And Stewart almost made a huge mistake in turn. He missed the rear brake and just come flying around the turn. Some skill that only James Stewart has to be able to pull off those type of moves.
Here he comes back looking to the inside. Reed knows he's got a battle on his hands, but he's used to fighting with Stewart.
Here he
is. These two have become big rivals, and Stewart retakes the lead. By the Anaheim crowd getting into this one. Reed starting to come right back on him. Through the sand they go. There's the mechanics area. Cheering him on. And Reed's old mechanic cheers on his rival now.
Just incredible. Oh, he's down!
They're both down! They got together. They're both down. And Stewart is down hard. He's dazed. He's having trouble getting up. Here comes Grant. Grant's going to take the lead away. Stewart is now trying to get to his feet. Here comes Windham. Reed is underway. Windham goes down. Windham gets into Stewart. And here goes Short. Stewart just cannot figure out what to go. Tim Ferry goes by. You can see the eyes of James Stewart. He's struggling. He's trying to find out where is he. Trying to get this fight going and get back in the race. Meanwhile, the positions and the points are slipping away. What a heartbreaking turn of events for James Stewart. He's been undefeated on this Yamaha, and now it won't restart. He's still dazed.
James Stewart got hit from behind. Here's the replay, Ralph. You see as they come out of the turn, Reed comes by on the left and clips the back of James Stewart. Watch Stewart smack the ground. Stewart took a very hard hit to the head. Watch here, watch his body as it goes limp. Focus on Stewart's helmet right here. Right into the face of that whoop.
That is a hard impact.
You know what happened? They came out of the turn. Stewart had a slight delay. He slowed up just a second, and that's why Reed hit the back of him, took them both down.
And he's still out of it. He cannot get that Yamaha to restart. Remember, that's one of the carbureted bikes, Jeff, and we talked about how hard it is to restart the 450s. The carbureted tougher than the fuel injected.
Well, and now if we go to the leader, here's another one of the carbureted Yamahas that is performing awesome here tonight from Riverside, California. Josh Grant, one of the local boys in his opening Supercross ride. Remember, he was a Lites rider last year, is out leading the biggest race of his career.
This team lost their sponsor just a few weeks ago. They came into this race with the support of Toyota that they've had in the past, and Yamaha helping them out. The Gibbs team, they said if we get the right rider, we can do some serious stuff in this series, and they might pull off the biggest win of the season by winning Anaheim 1.
This is incredible. Did I tell you A1 was going to be up the hook?
It always is.
It is
always
incredible.
is. He's got a 10.5-second lead over Andrew Short, and if Short could finish second, what a huge shot in the arm for the Red Bull Honda team, who has been dealing with injuries over the last 2 years, and they could be on the podium here.
Well, Short, his short-term goals, his goal for this season.
Look at James Stewart. The long walk back to the truck.
Just incredible. Short-term goal, win a race, win my first Supercross main event. He's 11 seconds back on Grant. Grant is absolutely flying right now. Last lap of 102.4, the fastest lap right now. So not only is he leading, but Josh Grant is pulling away.
Here is Short. By the way, his Honda stablemate, Kevin Windham, who looked like he was going to get a great advantage with the problems with Reed and Stewart. He got going again, but he's back in 16th. Reed now running in third. Could be a big points advantage for Reed in this championship.
Ralph, I have to catch my breath for a second, okay?
Well, and Jeff, they say if you're going to win the championship, you have to minimize your mistakes. And if Reed can hold on to third here tonight, that's what he's doing, and a big step towards the championship.
And it would be huge. And keep in mind,
Aaron, you've got James Stewart?
Yeah, guys, James Stewart is obviously extremely upset, probably a little dazed and confused. James, can you tell us what happened out there?
Crash.
We know that Chad Reed clipped your back tire. Did you have a slight delay?
Yeah, you know, it's not anybody's fault. Just had a bad mistake. Stupid on my part.
Racing, guys. This is the battle of a lifetime here at Anaheim 1.
Boy, you can see the intensity, just fuming.
He's that way because he's put in the work. Has the dedication. He knows he made a slight mistake coming out of that turn.
That's team manager Larry Brooks, by the way, a former Supercross star in his own right. And that's Big James, James Stewart's father, talking things over with their star rider.
He's very disappointed.
Well, now
very
they got
disappointed
to get
in himself.
refocused and ready for Chase Field. It's 7 days away, and they can't lose any more points.
Hey, Ricky Carmichael crashed out of the first race. I can't remember the year.
Yeah.
Came back to win the championship. It can't be done.
Here's Tedesco having a tremendous night of the number 9 Honda. He's battling with Reed. Reed trying to hold on for points. Tedesco trying to prove he's back and closing in as well. You see the green machine of Tim Ferry having a great night for Kawasaki factory team running in the top 5. His teammate Villopoto back in 7th.
So Red Dog, the old dog, putting it down here tonight at A1 with the experience, a solid program that year after year, Timmy Ferry is always there, always comes through the pack. Now he's working his way up to Tedesco, up to possibly Reed for third, and a spot on the podium.
The thing about Tim Ferry is it doesn't matter where he is at the end of the first turn. He'll tell you himself, his start's not his best part of his race. But boy, when it comes to fitness and getting through the race, he will be there before this thing is done.
There's no doubt about it. Reed needs to pick it up. There could possibly be something on Reed's bike that's bent, probably because that was a pretty hard crash for those guys, because Reed's off the pace right now. He's a couple seconds off of our leader, Josh Grant, who's just absolutely flying. And you take a look at the box up there, Team San Manuel Yamaha guys.
The Brain Trust is still discussing it and how they're going to go about practicing this week and getting ready for Chase Field just 7 days from today. Boy, the folks in Phoenix are going to see a great one, because you know James Stewart's going to come out loaded, ready to go.
So for Josh Grant, what has to
night.
be happening going through his mind? This is the race of his life.
Well, but you still got to finish it. He's got an 11.8-second lead over Short. But, Jeff, this is Supercross, and just when you think things are in your hands, boy, they can deal you some crazy cards and yank the rug out from underneath you.
I'm telling you, as the laps wear on, the nerves will start to set in. That's when he has to fight off. He knows he can do it. Remember, I said he can turn as fast as lap out there as anyone. Can he put it together for 20? He's been given a little gift here, okay? But he also is in the position to take advantage of that, to win his first Supercross main event in his first attempt.
Let's go back and take a look at the progressive direct whole shot replay since we got underway.
We'll focus on our champion, number 1. He gets out of the gate. Good start, but it was 33. Josh Grant there to the inside, but number 7, James Stewart, sneaks by with the progressive hole shot. Great way to start it, but it has ended in a very sour way for James Stewart.
Jeff, in every conversation you and I have had about this season, preparing for this season, we've always talked about the top 4. But you and I both have said Josh Grant's the sleeper in this whole thing.
Definitely. He's on a solid team right now. It's his time to mature, to step up. This is what he's been training his whole life for. This is just an incredible ride that Josh Grant is putting on. Have my fingers crossed for him that he can finish this just over 6 laps to go.
And not just for Josh, but for Coy Gibbs and Jeremy Albrecht. Watch those two guys. Been over to the shop at Gibbs Racing in Huntersville, North Carolina. Watch Coy Gibbs building pit boxes for the team. Everybody getting involved, getting this program ready to go racing. And here they are, everybody pulling their weight. And they might just steal one away from the biggest names in the sport. The fight here between Tedesco and Ferry continues. Ferry with the advantage right now. 6 laps to go.
Tedesco putting in a phenomenal ride. He has had some tough times here since he stepped up from being Lights champion up into the big boy class. Now, tonight, Ivan Tedesco really has put together a solid ride, running 5th place. Has to be happy with that.
Told me earlier today, I've done the homework. I'm ready to go. I just got to see if my homework was right. Apparently it was, Jeff. He is really competitive here.
And his teammate Millsaps back in 12th. Windham, another Honda rider's 15th.
And Villopoto, Ferry's teammate, has worked his way up to 6th. Here's Ryan. He won his heat race, Jeff. What does he take away from this if he can finish here in 6th or maybe better it into a top 5?
Well, it's experience. I mean, look back to 1993 with Jeremy McGrath. In his first 2 rounds, he did not win. He won his 3rd round in his way, on his way to winning the championship with 10 wins. So you can't win it here tonight, but you sure can lose it, right?
Without question. Without question. And even though you might quickly say, well, maybe that's what's happened to James Stewart, don't be too quick to judge that, because we do know that the drama and the roller coaster ride that is Supercross, last year, a perfect example. We all thought Stewart was the guy to beat. 2 races in, he was gone. Then we all thought Chad Reed was just going to be handed the championship, and Kevin Windham took him all the way to Vegas before it was said and done.
This is a crazy sport that we're in here, and there's just so much that can happen. From the track, the motorcycles, all of the competition, that it's just bar-to-bar racing, and how the track conditions change. It's so difficult, and this season there just seems to be a lot of desire. There's not the feeling that any of the riders are settling into their position. They all want to be up on the podium. They all want to be winning races. We're seeing that tonight with Josh Grant, number 33, Toyota Yamaha, out here leading his first Supercross race of his career.
And not a factory team, a factory-supported team. A bit of a difference for all intents and purposes. A lot of the factory components that everybody else has, but still a bit of a difference.
Well, yeah, but and keep in mind, the San Manuel Yamaha team, the Stewart rides for, is a factory-supported team. Not quite sure how the parts selection and the support is between the two, but Yamaha has always been very generous and open to the idea of teams coming in with their own sponsors and putting more Yamahas on the track. And right now, it's definitely working to their advantage. Here's the replay.
A look at what happened between Reed and Stewart.
Stewart made a slight mistake. You see a little delay just as he comes out. Reed definitely was not anticipating that.
And then Windham right into Stewart as Stewart tried to get off the track.
Wow, so unfortunate for Kevin Windham, too. Stewart wasn't looking to his left. He was trying to get out of the main line. Kevin was going down the left, which definitely was not the main line. Kevin was trying to sneak by. He was trying to get by there before Stewart and just caught that right foot peg on the front tire.
And you could see so James was dazed when he got it. He took a hard shot in his head into the dirt. Windham now up to 15.
Okay, Ralph. Here's Josh Grant working his way through the lap riders. This is where it gets difficult. Josh Grant just got taken out of his rhythm through that tight tabletop section. Right now, he can't do the rhythm that he wants to through here. Well, yeah, sure he does. The lap riders have got to get out of the way. A rider like Josh Grant, he's going to be nervous enough trying to finish this thing off with just over 2 laps to go.
Cole Siebler right in front of him on the number 79.
Oh, he's got a tough block on his...
Oh, he sure does. Like
it's
we
on
said,
the brake side.
it's
on the brake side.
Now, what is that going to do to him, Jeff?
If he loses the rear brake, oh, that is wrapped around the right side.
Oh, no.
No way.
Oh, no. Now,
unbelievable.
Now, the wheel is still turning.
Does he have a rear brake? No, he does not have a rear brake.
Now, how does he ride with this? He's got a 12-second lead.
He has to go for it. He has to know that he has no rear brake. He cannot let up.
How does he compensate for it? What does he do?
Has to use the front brake. He's got a good lead. He's got 12 seconds with a lap and a half to go. He has to be very careful going into the turns here. This will be incredible if he can pull this off.
How does he change his riding style to compensate? Using
right there, he almost went high.
How does it make him affect his riding style, Jeff, the way he approaches the turns?
He has to only use the front brake. He has to see he's doubling through here. This is where the 13-second lead and all of those hard laps that Josh Grant put en route to this. He's coming up to the white flag. Can he hold on?
Boy, look at the smoke pouring off that thing. There's the white flag. What a final lap we got. Grant with the tough block wrapper. Caught up on that rear wheel. 7.5 seconds between Grant and Short to the checkered flag, and either one of them looking for their first ever Supercross win.
Short just cut Grant's lead in half in 1 lap.
Is
this going to be enough for Josh Grant to hold on? His mechanic, Alex Ewing, right there, 7.5 gap. This is what you have to keep to the finish.
And Andrew Short can smell his first win as well, and he can see the problems in front of him with Grant. Or if he can catch him, he can take the win away. Or Josh Grant is going to pick off one of the most unbelievable victories in Anaheim history. Josh Grant goes to the Joe Gibbs Racing Team. He's celebrating, but he's not there just yet. The checkered flag awaiting. Josh Grant and Joe Gibbs Racing both looking for their first Supercross wins. Here it is, the checkered flag. An incredible win for Josh Grant and the Joe Gibbs Toyota Yamaha team as they steal one away here at Anaheim 1. An amazing performance by this new team.
Can you believe that the California native comes out in his opening Supercross, defies the odd tough block cover plastic on the rear brake, and he manages to keep it together for 2 laps to win his first Supercross?
Here's how it happened, Jeff.
Jumps right to the inside here and picks it right off of that tough block.
And that's because he was dealing with the traffic.
Exactly. That's where he had to alter his line. And you see the smoke as the plastic, oh, and that's the close call. Almost went over the bars. I have never seen anything like this.
What a memorable finish. There you see Keith McCarty from Yamaha. There is Josh, the first ever win for the Joe Gibbs Racing Team. Jeremy Albrecht, the team manager who had been with Factory Kawasaki, left that highly coveted position to join Coy Gibbs, moved all the way from Southern California back to North Carolina to get this team going. There's Jeremy right there, nicknamed J-Bone. He can celebrate, no doubt about it. And you're right in there with him. And when we come back, we're going to take you to the podium, and that's going to be a very memorable celebration. Stewart and Reed, they go down, and Josh Grant celebrates with an Anaheim victory. Get the latest MotoGP news, results, videos, and commentary on the web or on your phone only on SpeedTV.com and Speed Mobile. Look at the tears pouring out of Josh Grant as he has achieved a lifelong dream. We talked about it at the beginning, where these men who've become world-class athletes challenge for championships, but their dreams all began as children. And tonight, Josh Grant has fulfilled the dream. He is a winner in Supercross, and he's a winner at A1, the most prestigious race on the tour. Chad Reed finishes second.
Third.
Or I should say third. Andrew Short finishes second, still searching for his first win. Ryan Villopoto debuts with the top 5, and Ivan Tedesco back healthy and fast. Mike Alessi battled through to finish 11th, and look at James Stewart in 19th. Let's go down to Aaron.
I don't know if you could start the season off with any more excitement than that, but a crash and Chad Reed managed to salvage third. Chad, what exactly took place between you and James Stewart?
Oh, you know, I felt good as I almost had the whole shot there, and somebody came right from the outside, and I just pushed to the front. I felt really good at the beginning, and had some good lines, and man, it was, we had perfect conditions out here, and passed James, and he got back on me, made a pass back, and I don't know, I think he hit neutral or something, but man, we hit hard, and I ended upside down. I saw him down the track upside down. It was a bad deal, so I hope he's all right, and we can get back up there and battle again. But that was a shame. I felt like I had a win in me tonight, and I lost my front brake in the thing, and it was all twisted. So just rode the Rockstar Makita Suzuki, put her up on the box. I just want to thank everybody. We've been working our butts off, and we really want to win this championship. We want to show why we got that #1 plate on, and all the guys at Thor, Parts, Scott, and Bridgestone. It's a good thing. Everybody at home, and my docs, in Texas, Dr. Charisse, thank you so much, and your family, and Dr. Moses in Arizona, thanks.
The old saying, you can't win a championship here at Anaheim 1, but you can definitely lose it. What does it mean to you that you salvaged third place? James Stewart is in 19th at this point, moving into Phoenix next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. I think, I think the two of us are going to have some battles with some younger kids as well. I mean, Josh just showed that he could pull off a win. I'm proud for him, and Shorty got up here. I think that's his best finish yet, and man, we just want to go out there and battle. That's what Supercross is all about, and try and stay on the box. I've been here and done this a few times, and I really want to be consistent and try to get some wins.
Congratulations on a job well done tonight.
Cheers, thanks.
Outstanding performance for Chad Reed. He looks like he's moving to Suzuki. He's ready. He's ready. He didn't win tonight, but he's ready. We'll be right back. More interviews to come. Podium celebration continues just underneath the waterfall here in center field. Angels Stadium in Anaheim. Here's the final installment of our Go Green trivia question, which was presented by Kawasaki, and a chance for you to win a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. We asked you, who holds a record for most wins by a rookie in a single Supercross season? Ricky Carmichael, Chad Reed, James Stewart, or Jeremy McGrath? The correct answer, hope you got it right, is number 4, Jeremy McGrath. Remember, the winner gets a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Well, let's go back down to the podium where Aaron has another top-flight interview for us.
Andrew Short scoring his best Supercross result so far of his career. Andrew, you managed to step it up. Even though it's a little bit of a gift tonight, chaos going all around you, you are ready and you are prepared this season. What are you crediting this to?
I have a new program. Joe Spencer's been really helping out, along with Honda Rebel Racing. They put together a great program, and I had 2 awful starts tonight, my heat race in the main. But, I kept looking forward and moving ahead, and it was a great result for me because I passed a lot of guys that I normally can't get through, so I'm pretty excited with how it went.
Okay, only 1 step left to go, so congratulations on your second place. He's still looking for that first victory.
Here's a look at our upcoming schedule. We're all headed over to Phoenix. Be there next Saturday night. Chase Field. As you take a look at our Toyota moving forward schedule, you'll see that coverage here on Speed. The very next day, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We race Saturday night the 9th. You see it here on Speed on the 10th. And then we come back to Anaheim, Houston, and San Francisco with our friends at CBS. And, of course, all the light shows coming your way on the home of the lights exclusively here on Speed. Well, we got one more interview coming up for you with this guy, Josh Grant. You don't want to miss it. First-time winner. I'm sure he'll have some great things to say. Well, the fans are making their way out of Angel Stadium, getting ready to head to Phoenix, which is where the tour moves next, and we head down to the podium to meet our winner, Josh Grant with Aaron.
The tears of joy said it all. Not only did he take his very first victory, being the rookie coming in tonight, but the first victory for the team as well. Josh, what does this moment mean to you?
Oh, I can't even explain it. It's, such a great feeling. It's just like when I won my first Lites, race, and I can't thank those guys enough. They helped me out so much. The Joe Gibbs Racing, Yamaha, Toyota, everyone that's been there for me, Farm RU, and No Fear, Shoei. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so excited about the race, and it just, it was been a long time.
Hey, take us through what exactly was going through your mind when all of a sudden a couple of laps left to go and a tough block cover gets stuck in your back wheel. Was that a moment of anxiety?
Yeah, I had no clue. I didn't know what it was. I just thought maybe something was wrong with the bike, but I just, kept charging away and just going for it. So that's all I could do, and I didn't want to stop. So it was either crash out or, win. So, and luckily, I, got the best of it.
Congratulations on playing it smart. Josh Grant, his very first victory.
Well, Josh Grant takes a big win here in Anaheim. We head to Phoenix. Jeff, what's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that we need to expect the unexpected, because tonight just blew me away. The action was incredible. We had two first-time winners that we didn't expect. They weren't the favorites who we were talking about coming in, so it's going to be a great Supercross season.
It is, and we hope you'll join us. We sure hope you've enjoyed our live coverage from the drop of the first gate to the last checker flag here tonight in Anaheim. And now we head off to Phoenix, a different facility, a closed roof if they want it, or they can open it at Chase Field. Yeah, plus the dirt consistency, it's always a little hard, a little loose there, a little slippery, not like here where you have to be a little more careful with the throttle control. But there's some definite favorites that have something to prove once we get to Phoenix. Okay, so James Stewart, he wants to come back. You got Dungey, Lawrence, these guys trying to notch that first win in the Lites. So Phoenix, it's gonna be incredible once again. How about James Stewart? Now he's got to think about this a little bit. He's got some work ahead of him. Yeah, and James knows that he made the mistake on his own. So definitely going to be a tough pill to swallow. But Stewart's a champion, and what does a champion do? He goes back to the drawing board, gets reset. He'll work together with his trainer Alden Baker, everyone at the San Manuel Yamaha to get focused for the next weekend, and he's going to try to do what Ricky Carmichael did after DNFing the first race and to come back and win the championship. That's James Stewart's new challenge. Yeah, and Reed comes out of here with a third place. Some good points. Yeah, Reed definitely salvaged a good night here. Reed was solid. He was ready to challenge. We were going to have that back and forth pass here, that battle between Reed and Stewart. It just didn't materialize like we wanted it to. Well, let's go back to Erin for a final thought from her as well.
Well, guys, final thought. I don't even know what to say. Absolute mayhem and chaos going down here on the infield. Who would have thought that Josh Grant was going to take the win? That just goes to show you exactly what kind of season that we might be in store for. Chad Reed, good to see him back up and running again. James Stewart, obviously frustrated as we got a final word from him before he had walked off. Kevin Windham, he's very thankful that that tough block was in his way this evening to land on. What a night. Who knows what we're in store for next, but I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next weekend in Phoenix. Well, thanks for all the work down there tonight, Aaron. We'll see you in Phoenix as well. Hey, if you want to watch this all over again, it's going to re-air on Speed tomorrow. You'll see the Lites at 5 p.m. followed by the Supercross class at 6 p.m. Well, Jeff, looking forward to it, buddy. Good seeing you back in the booth. We're going to have a lot of fun. Not just are those guys going to be in the mix, but it looks like some others, like Josh Grant, might be in the middle as well. Well, it's been a thrilling night here in Anaheim. It is Anaheim 1. It's the one that everybody looks forward to. We were able to bring it to you live, had some amazing stuff. Jake Weimer wins the Lites, and Josh Grant wins the Supercross class. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Anaheim.